Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Tonight from West Fargo Horace High School, the second-ranked Kindred Vikings host the Jamestown Blue Jays in North Dakota Division AA football. A pleasant, good, soggy Friday evening to you. I'm Chase Miller alongside Max Bernier, and welcome to our pregame show here tonight from Horace. Kindred at 3-0 on the season after a 34-7 win at Bismarck St. Mary's last week. However, in the loss, they did lose their junior running back in Brock Johnson. But senior quarterback Gabe Whipple has passed for over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception so far here on this season for the Vikings. Well, for the Jamestown Blue Jays, they're 1-2 following a 27-18 loss at the hands of Central Cass last weekend. Senior tailback and Liam Fry has rushed for nearly 300 yards and 5 touchdowns on the year. Currently overcast skies, temperatures in the mid-60s, a little humid as you have it out there. If you're coming to the game, bring the umbrella, bring the raincoat. If you're staying at home, enjoy the comfort of your own living room. Still to come on our pregame show here this evening, we'll get to our starting lineups, your out-of-town scoreboard, that more as well. But when we return, it's our coaches' conversation. We'll hear from Bill Nelson of the Jamestown Blue Jays, and from there, we'll also hear from Eric Burgad from the Kindred Vikings. It's the Vikings and the Blue Jays for Friday night nights in Horace on your live events.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Join us here from the Jamestown Blue Jays perspective is their head coach, that is Bill Nelson, as they come into West Fargo Horace for a date with the Kindred Vikings here this evening. Bill, let's just talk about this final non-conference game of the season. You got to see a couple new teams with Central Cass last week. This week it's Kindred. So from a coach's perspective, when you see teams moving up or moving down divisions, what's it like when you see a club that you really don't have film or tendencies or haven't played, the last couple of years? What's it like as a coach getting ready for almost a quote unquote faceless opponent?
I mean, it's different, definitely. You don't know them, they don't know you, but you have 3 games out there. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to learn as much about them as you can, and then vice versa to us. And we started off the year at Wapton. We didn't play a good first half. We woke up and played pretty solid the second half, and then played a good first quarter plus against Grand Forks Central and had some adversity. Our quarterback Brady Eno broke his foot, a scary thing, and he's going to be okay. It's not, he didn't have to have surgery, and he's just going to be in a boot. And Brady's one of our captains, being the leader that he is and doing things on the side. We have 3 sophomores, and that night we rolled with a sophomore that was, in an ideal world, probably not ready to play football, but did a solid job that night. And then another one got cleared from a broken maxilla from a boating incident right before football started. So he wasn't, he didn't have any time on the field. And so I went with Carson, and then they had equal reps all last week. And then last week we ended up going with Carson, and Carson played pretty solid for a quarter and a half. We thought we played pretty good football. We were physical. In all my time, I don't think, maybe a BHS or a Century, but the 2 tackles from Central Cass are pretty darn large young men. You know what I mean? I don't have any kids that size, and to see that, and they're physical and they move pretty well, and they got us schematically on some things and took the lead and jumped up, and then we battled back and blocked a punt, got a score, got the ball again late, and just couldn't quite come back. But knew Central Cass was going to be good. I mean, you have enough film on them, you watch them over the years, and I go to all the Dakota Bowls. You follow all the games. You follow all the teams. I'm on high school advisory, so you have a pretty good idea how the numbers sit for people. You know what I mean? And who's going to be maybe coming up, who's going to be going down, who's going to be moving around a little bit. Both Central Cass and Kindred are so close to Fargo. They're basically bedroom communities. You know what I mean? So those are both two growing communities, and we're not. I think we still have 16,000 people, but our enrollment in our school, our community is getting older. You know what I mean? We have who we have, and our kids work really hard, and we're going to keep fighting no matter what. So last week it's fun to play new teams. Don't get me wrong, it's not. It's a lot more fun when you have film on somebody. When you could actually scout them up and this and that. And then Kindred, we obviously have another game. I've known Nate Safe, their line coach, for probably. I was a strength coach at NDSU, a GA strength coach. I left in 2002, and Nate's dad is who we bought our squat racks from. He used to own a strength equipment company. So I've known Nate since before he was even at NDSU. And then Coach Sarkovic, Alex, I've known who Luke is since he's about 3 years old, because he used to be our rep with Universal Universal Athletics. You know what I mean? So, and then Kyle Heinze, is their strength coach, was a student athlete of mine back when I was at Griggs Barnes County. So a lot of familiarities with those guys. Kindred, very, very well coached, and they're talented. And you knew they were going to be just from watching them. Last year, they graduated a number of guys, and Jake obviously graduated and going off to West Point. That's one of the cooler things. That's a special deal. As I told Alex, how many times you see a high school kid, you know what I mean, from North Dakota go play football for Army. That's pretty darn unique, And then they've got some talented kids. They got Luke, and and then obviously Brooks Bacco and a number of other kids. They're just solid. They don't make mistakes. They've jumped on people early. They're physical. They have good athletes. You know what I mean? And it's where the challenge this week is when we made strides from 2 to 3 for week 2 to 3. And we didn't play poorly, but obviously with the adversity we had against Central, and Coach Schauer and I are pretty close. And it's just one of those ones where it is what it is. I'd love to see him again, just like I'd love to see Central Cass again. And Kindred's going to be a challenge. And there's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. But being tough and being disciplined this week, that's been the two biggest things. And we're going to be ready to go come game time, come 6 o'clock. Yep. We get to go back to horse and play instead of go down and play on the grass in Kindred. And kind of got a heads up that there might be some issues with the field down there. And I don't know where that sits, but it doesn't really matter. If you ask us to go to Wisconsin and play, we're going to go play a football game. You know what I mean? Or it just, in a bus, it's just more time together, more time we get to spend together. And we got a really good group of kids that have put in a lot of time, and it's just chase this thing. We're getting closer. You know what I mean? And the whole goal, and I told them last week, I said, I don't worry about the wins and losses. It's, are we getting better every week? Because next week, everybody's 0-0. It's all about those last 5 conference games. And then it sets you up. So yeah, you want the first 4 are really important, because you want to be taking strides. You want to stay healthy, and you've got bumps and bruises just like everybody else does. You know what I mean? But as long as we're making strides and getting better weekly, that's all that matters in the big scheme of things.
As you take a look here, you mentioned about some guys that have worked hard, and I know before we had a conversation here, Bill, for the interview, you mentioned Cody Barrett, just a lineman, a guy that does a lot of really good things on and off the football field for this Blue Jay program. So what would you just like to say about what he has meant as being a senior leader here and a captain for the Blue Jays this season?
He's just a stellar human being. You ask him to do something, and he does it. It doesn't matter what it is. I could say, hey, Cody, I need you to be the bullet on kickoff. All right, coach, I got you. You know what I mean? And it's, he either owns or he will own all of our strength records before he graduates. And I give him crap. I would like to see him weigh about 230, 235, but he weighs about 215 plus. And he's a straight A student, 4.0. You ask him to do something, he does it. He's leading the way leaders need to lead, you know what I mean? And bringing others along. And we've, with our leadership council, it's just hammered the crap out of it. It's you got to be led by the seniors. You do. Every single one of you has a part, whether you're a starter, whether you're a role player, whether you're somebody who may not see the field as much as they'd like. Every single one of you has a part. We were blessed in fit 21 and 22 to have 2 pretty every season special. Don't get me wrong. It's not about putting it up on there, but I will say those 2 years, those 15 and 11 seniors every single one absorbed their role, and it was very, very important to them. You know what I mean? And they just kind of pointed fingers, you know what I mean? And you got to do this, we got to do this, and the younger guys just gravitated to it. You know what I mean? And we're close. Like we're not there yet, but it's a matter of that's where, this is a family. We don't do a lot of stuff. We train all year round. Everybody's got stuff that they do, but the first time we really get together is fall camp, because we've got lineman camps, we've got skill camps, we've got quarterback. We're going to different camps. You know what I mean? We've got workouts all times of the day, and we do our, but it's when we get together, like the player pair meeting, that's the first time we've gotten together. You know what I mean? You can say what you want about, well, you should do this. You said other kids are in other sports, and I'm not going to be greedy. I want them to go do other things. As long as you're getting your training in, as long as we're getting better, and you're supporting each other, and there's no I in team, right? It's the old cliche thing, but one of the boys wrote up what's important to him, and one of the seniors, and put brotherhood up on our board in our locker room, and he spelled brotherhood wrong, and we all noticed it. So it's actually still sitting up there, and that might be on the back of a T-shirt before the end of the year, but it's true. You know what I mean? It's a special time, and the football season, every season goes so fast, but anybody that thinks it's just a 4-month season is completely wrong, because this is a 12-month round thing. And Cody's done a really good job of, he had I don't want to say a mentor, but Von Romsdahl did an exceptional job with our fronts last year. You know what I mean? And Cody, along with a couple other guys, have really worked to try to take that to another level.
And from you, Bill, I know it's just, as you mentioned, the final non-conference game, non-region game before you get to the games that matter. But what's the one thing, win, lose, or draw tonight, no matter who your opponent was going to be, that you want to see from your team for another, if you want to call it a tune-up game before the games that really matter, right? The ones that are going to determine, do you make the playoffs, what your seed line is? What's the one thing for 4 quarters of football that you want to see from your club here?
I'm going to say 2. So tough being number 1. Don't let the little things bother you. You got to have a short-term memory, because there's going to be adversity. We're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Do it 100 miles an hour. And the other thing is be disciplined. You got to know where your reads are. You got to know where, not going to lie, where's Brooks Baco at? Where is Luke Starkovic at? 2 really, really important things. They got a pretty darn talented running back, a number 8, whether you call him a receiver, whether you call him a fullback, because he lines up all over the place. You know what I mean? And their O-line and D-line they're just solid. So it's like, you look for tendencies, and it's hard to find tendencies because they do a lot of different things. I run the Scout O, and I will tell Alex Starkovic this in pregame, that I have had more fun running your offense than I have had fun running some of the other ones. Like, gave Coach Shower crap. I'm like, can I shift and trade a tight end 85 more times, which is fine. You know what I mean? But it's all good. You get to learn stuff about other teams, and then you start seeing them, and you start seeing them live, and you learn things about the program, and obviously they've done a really good job. You know what I mean? With it helps being right close to Horace, and there's a lot of kids there, and they've got a lot of kids out at football. They've been tremendously successful. You know what I mean? And you got to do that year in and year out. And when you think that you've made it, you're probably going to go backwards, because you find out really hard. It's harder to sustain it. You know what I mean? You spend a lot of time, you put a lot of work in, and I think the last 2.5 years I've probably put more time in than I ever have. And that's okay. That's what we do. And somebody made a comment, do you really enjoy going in at 5 a.m. every day? I don't go to work. I love what I do. I get to work with kids in the weight room all day, and then I get to go coach football. And it's like, I just love practice. Like, I'm not there to be the kids' friend. I'm not there to be the good cop. It's my job. I don't want to say the bad cop, you know what I mean? But man, I want to have fun. We're over in Indy time with the D-line, or we have our running, special teams. It's like, you got to understand that we're going to work hard. We're going to do the hard things, because too often, not in today's world, my phone keeps doing stupid things here. We dodge the hard things. You know what I mean? And how do you be successful in life? You got to meet the hard things head on. So I told the kids, man, if you can't be excited about going to Kindred and playing a really, really good football team, that's a really, really good football program, then you probably shouldn't be here. And we're going to be locked in, ready to go. And I can't wait for kickoff to get here.
Hey, Bill, as always, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck here against the Vikings and throughout the rest of the season once you get to your west portion of the schedule as well.
Appreciate it, Chase. Thank you.
That again, Bill Nelson, head coach of the Jamestown Blue Jays, will continue with more after this between the Blue Jays and the Vikings.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting, with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
As we continue on our pregame show here on the Coach's Conversation, joining us now from the Kindred Vikings perspective is the head coach. That is Eric Burgad. Here is crazy to think we are getting a little bit closer to that midway point of the season here in 2025. And Eric, for your club, 3-0 on the season so far, all non-region games. But what did you like best about your team's performance in Bismarck against the Saints to come away with another victory on the season?
Oh, I think what I like best is just our style of play and, just the things that we can control. I thought we did well, like just the effort, the attitude, the focus, going into a road trip after an emotional win the week before. I thought we came out and we handled business pretty well. A little nervous about that as a coaching staff, just with the first road trip and having guys who haven't done it yet and played a good team when you play on the road. But they got that challenge on Friday night and thought they answered the bell. I thought we were pretty efficient on O and probably our best nights tackling and on defense as well. So seeing the growth that we want to see.
It's been similar in terms of another Western opponent, maybe some teams that you haven't seen in most recent years, Eric, and you'll get that chance again tonight against Jamestown. So what's it like for you as a coaching staff? As much as you are worrying about your opponent, you're obviously worrying about yourself getting through the games, but how have you used this first month of the season scouting, seeing different teams, seeing different formations, and what does, maybe Jamestown provide as a challenge that maybe you haven't seen yet so far this season, Eric?
Yeah, Coach Safe and I were talking about that exactly and laughing about it in the weight room yesterday, that we do our breakdown and you think you have a really good idea of what these teams are going to be, but without seeing them, and like we haven't played St. Mary's in 5-6 years. We've never played Jamestown, so you think you have a good idea, but you don't quite know until the kids line up, and then everything settles in and you find your groove. But it's been a fun challenge, just not knowing exactly what you're going to have and just new opponents, different schemes, and new things to prepare for. So I think our kids are handling it really well, and I think our coaching staff is too. And then with the Blue Jays again, don't know a ton about them. The success that they've had in the recent past. We know they're a very well coached, disciplined football team, and that's what I see on film right now is good fundamentals. They have the type of players that we would want on our team. Kids that are working hard, kids that, like I said, play with good fundamental, and it looks like they enjoy playing the game when they're out there. So we expect a really good game on Friday night.
As you take a look at one of your offensive and defensive linemen with a junior and Brody Mauk, he's your starting center, also playing on the line defensively. Just what have you seen from his, growth and maturation from, this time of the season here, almost a month in terms of games, Eric?
Yeah, he's starting to get the feel for it, and a credit to Brody. He's a kid that absolutely loves football and wanted to be on the field last year. Did a really nice job in our JV games, but we had a lot of good players. He just wasn't quite ready yet last year, but made an absolute commitment to the weight room. He got so much stronger from his sophomore year to his junior year, and you saw that early in fall camp that he was going to be ready to go. But now when he starts taking the snaps and getting the game reps, he didn't love his week 1 performance, and we coached him really hard on it. And then he battled in week 2 against Horace, and I think he's playing his best football now. So just with his size, with his frame, and the strength that he's developed on his own, he's going to turn into a really good player, and he's doing exactly what we want him to do right now.
Let's talk a little bit about the offense here, Eric. Obviously, when you just take a look at the box scores, you've scored over 30-plus points per game through 3 games. And what's been happening there? I know it helps when you get a Hess, kickoff return against West Fargo Horse to put one in the end zone. Special teams and defense can help out the offense that way as well. But what's been clicking, I guess, on that half of the football so far through 3 games?
I think it's the balance. We have good, just very serviceable weapons throughout our offensive lineup, and I feel that way about our receivers. I feel that way about our running backs. I feel that way about our tight ends and our quarterbacks too. So when you got guys that can all step up throughout the course of a game and make big plays for you and get the first downs needed, and you're not always calling on the same kid. It's not our running back that's taking 35 carries a game, and we're putting it all on him and the offensive line's shoulders. I think we're doing a nice job of stretching the field vertically, stretching the field horizontally, and then we always want to be able to hang our hat on the runs. So always coming back to that and just assuring that we got good balance and that we're playing physical, whether we're throwing the football or running the football. We always want to play with that physicality.
Final thing for me, Eric, you maybe hit on it right there. It's your final, if you want to call it tune-up, so to speak, before you get to regional play that'll determine whether or not you make the playoffs, what seed and so forth you are. So biggest thing is what against Jamestown that you want to see before you get to the Red Rivers, the Central Casas, so to speak, of the world here in 2A East football.
Yeah, I want to see individual improvement. We talk a lot about, just everybody's at a certain point in the season. And, for some guys on our team, that's here. For other guys on our team, you're maybe 2 steps ahead of that. And it's all about taking that next step to improve your game. So we talk a lot to our kids about, what are the weaknesses in your game right now? How do you get better at them? If you stink at something, that's what you should think about, and that's what you should practice and try to fix that before we come out for the next Friday game. So try to keep the focus on us and improving what we can improve on, and that's what I'm looking for our team to do this week.
Hey, Eric, as always, thank you so much for your time and best of luck here against the Blue Jays.
Hey, thank you.
That again, Eric Burgad, head coach of the Kindred Vikings, will continue with more on the pregame show after this here in Horace. Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Final segment on the pregame show here as we heard from the coaches. Currently overcast skies right now, just kind of at different times from 4 o'clock setting up to where we are now. You might get a quick little 5 to 10 minute rain shower, wettens everything. Then all of a sudden, nothing on the radar. So the question is, how much will we get once we get to kickoff? But right now, the track literally is going to be a little wet to start here on the turf to begin things off. Your out-of-town scoreboard here tonight. Fargo North makes the trek out west to have a date with Minot North. You have Grand Forks Central at Watford City here this evening. Bismarck St. Mary's heads to Wahpeton. Fargo South up at Devil's Lake against the Firebirds, and Central Cass goes out to the Western Time Zone. And the Queen City has a date with the Mavericks of Dickinson. That's your out-of-town scoreboard. 2A football here. The latest football poll, Minot North #1 receiving 18 of the 20 first-place votes. Kindred #2 with 2 first-place votes. Grand Forks Central #3. Devil's Lake #4 with Central Cass #5. 4 of the 5 from the East make up the top half of the 2A football poll, receiving votes of Grand Forks, Red River, and Watford City. Also this evening on yourliveevent.com, Park Christian makes their way to Ada Borup West here. Kevin Kochman will have the call for you on that one. Hillsborough Central Valley at Northern Casson. Hunter Jake Berkmeyer will be on the call. And then you have Harvey Wells County at Thompson with Joe Lancello. That is, again, a look at your out-of-town scoreboard and alongside the latest 2A football poll as well. We'll take a quick break, and we come back after this. We'll get to our starting lineups and the opening kick here in this one. The Jamestown Blue Jays at 1-2 on the season. Head coach is Bill Nelson, averaging 16 points per game defensively, giving up 26 points per contest. While for the Kindred Vikings at 3-0 on the season, Eric Burgad, the head coach, third year at the helm, averaging 36 points per game and defensively giving up 17 points per contest. We're back with the starting lineups next here at Horace.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
As we continue here on yourliveevent.com from Horace here this evening, Chase Miller alongside Max Bernier with you here on yourliveevent.com. Kindred won the coin toss and elected to defer, so we'll see the Blue Jays offense here to begin things off at West Fargo Horace. The Blue Jays in their road uniforms here, the white tops, the blue pants with the blue numbers, a Blue Jay on one side of the helmet, a number on the other here for Bill Nelson's club, averaging again 16 points per game on the season. They'll roll like this. At a left tackle is Cody Barrett, and Bill Nelson just had rave reviews about Cody for the 6'2 senior at 220 pounds, a left tackle. Ryland Doctor, the left guard, a 6-foot junior at 225 pounds. Jackson Morris, a junior center at 5'11 at 205. Jet Wharton, a 5'8 senior guard at 205. And Eli Olson, a 6'3 junior at 220 pounds. Your tight end of Remick, the senior, 4 catches for 93 yards. Another tight end of Tucker Allen, a 6'2 junior at 210 pounds. Kale Verke, a wide receiver, the 5'8 junior. And then you have Sephi Saylor, the 5'10 senior. Liam Fry, the tailback here, the senior at 6'2, 205 pounds. And from there, your starting quarterback here in this one, Carson Schmidt, a sophomore at 5'10 at 170 pounds. We might see the lefty, also a sophomore, of Noah Malding here potentially, depending on how the game goes, as their starting quarterback earlier in the year here for Jamestown out with an injury here for Brady, the junior. So we'll see a sophomore at quarterback here for the Blue Jays. Again, head coach is Bill Nelson at 1-2 on the season. As we turn our attention now to the Kindred Vikings, clad in their gray attire with the purple numerals outlined in white here for Kindred. As the Vikings, they will go like this from the defensive line spot. As starting things off will be Lincoln Swenson, a defensive end senior, 6 foot at 210 pounds. Also at a defensive end spot, a junior, is Luke Starcevic at 6'5", 260 pounds. And Brody Malk, the nose guard, a 6'1" junior at 250. That's your front three. It'll be a 3-4-4 here tonight for the Vikings. Linebackers of Miles Thielgis, the 5'11" junior linebacker. Jeremy Knight, the 6'2 sophomore at 175 pounds. Tannen Johnson, a senior linebacker, at 210 pounds, and Michael Stroh, the 5'10 senior, at 190. Corners of Jackson Schliemann, the 5'10 sophomore, and then from there Sawyer Hess, the 5'9 senior here at the corners. Safeties of Brooks Bacco and Gabe Whipple here for Kindred's defense. The Vikings giving up 17 points per game. Jamestown defensively giving up 26. Kindred averaging 300 on the season, 368 yards of total offense, 36 points per game. For the Jamestown Blue Jays, they are averaging 264 yards of total offense, averaging 16 points per game. The Kindred Vikings, Eric Burgad is the head coach here for Kindred. Next week for Kindred, they will make their way to Grand Forks Red River at Cushman to open up the eastern region of the schedule. Well, for Jamestown, they will make their way to Devil's Lake to begin their region schedule. That does it for our starting lineups. Opening kickoff is next.
In the area, your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com, local voices from local radio.
High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. Again, Chase Miller and Max Bernier with you here on Your Live Event. For more football information, simply subscribe to our YouTube page or head to our website, YourLiveEvent.com. Currently 64 degrees. Wind blowing in a little bit from the north as we go from left to right or from the north to the south here at Horace. You take a look at the radar, just some pop-up showers, but hopefully it's kind of made its way through. Our white hat here this evening is Chris Larson, umpire of Ryan Weber, Cam Anderson, the head linesman, line judge of Jake Schlecht, and the back judge is Nick Nelson. As the Jamestown Blue Jays will have 3 men back at the 10. Well, for the Kindred Vikings, and we'll put this one on the tee here, as it'll be coming here with Mangy Tanner on the way at the 40-yard line. He'll be kicking from the 40, and we'll get this one underway just after the 6 o'clock hour. Vikings trying to improve to 4-0 on the season. The Blue Jays trying to get to 2-2. Opening kick at 6:02, and 2A football is underway. A pooch kick that goes to the 25-yard line. This one goes to the outside. The Blue Jays got a little bit of crease into Kindred territory at about midfield, and a really nice start to the game by Seffi Saylor. Little pooch kick that goes to the outside for a return of 25 yards, and that's where the Blue Jays will have it, right in Kindred starting territory at the 49-yard line. One thing that Bill Nelson told us in the pregame, he said, listen, if you're going to play Kindred and you don't win the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a long night. So they are going to be looking to try to run the football a little bit here, get some guys in play action opportunities. Here comes a big load of Fry as he barrels his way up the middle for a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Swenson on the tackle. Fry at 6'2", 205 pounds, averaging 5.5 yards per pop here this season on the ground. Now has 300 yards. High school football here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com in Horace. Good start on the kickoff here for the Blue Jays. They will look to capitalize on the Vikings defense, looking to make a little bit of a stand. They show 5. They will bring 5. Fry to the outside, able to get to the numbers. Close to the sticks as he gets pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. They will mark it at the 38 for a gain of 8, and it's a first down here for Jamestown. A nice shot in the arm here. We saw Hess with the opening kickoff return for a touchdown for Kindred a few weeks ago at this very venue against the Horace Hawks. Well, the Jamestown Blue Jays, Bill Nelson said in our pregame, they played good for a quarter and a half, or they played good for about 1/2 of football. They haven't had a full 4-quarter game yet, and they want to try to get a little bit closer here tonight. Fry bounces to the outside. Good pursuit here by Kindred, as they will come up with it eventually. On the tackle to finish him off was Tannen Johnson. Johnson, the senior linebacker, makes it to a 2nd and 10. A little sugar no huddle here for the Jamestown Blue Jays, as they will go one wide receiver, both split out left and right here for Jamestown. Vikings rolling down the free safety. They will pitch it to the outside, and there's a stick right at the numbers at the 40. Really good play by Gabe Whipple, who delivers a lumber. Tucker Allen is going to be able to get back to about the line of scrimmage. It was Allen with his 11th reception of the season, and really good play by Whipple in the open field, and a minute and a half so far off the clock here on the opening drive for the Blue Jays. Twins to left-handed side, one near sideline, little cover 2 here for Kindred, as in the shotgun comes to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to roll. Steps up, fires, throws. It's picked off by Bacco at the 32. And Bacco gets hog-tied down at the 40. The Kindred defense makes a stand, and they will have it 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line. Nice play by Bacco as they rolled the pocket, getting a little pressure from the backside, and Bacco able to come up with it with the interception. So the Vikings will handle it now with 10:09 left to play at their own 40-yard line. And we'll see the first time today. Here is this Kindred offense. Center is Brody Malk, the 6'1" center at 250. Guards of Lincoln Swenson and Miles Stroh. Tackles of Tenon Johnson and Hudson Kozowski. We'll get to the backfield and Jamestown starting lineup defensively here after this play. Gabe Whipple, the quarterback. Low snap. Going to hand this one off. This goes to about the 44-yard line for a gain of 4. It's going to be a little bit of running back by committee here as the sophomore Clayton Altoff able to get the run for about a gain of a good 4. You're going to see Sawyer Hess and also Miles Steelgis in the backfield after Brock Johnson went down with an injury against St. Mary's last week in Bismarck, and Brock was off to a great start, averaging over 10 yards per pop and 4 touchdowns on the season. Luke Starcevic at tight end with Brooks Bacco at wide receiver with Sawyer and Graham Hess as well. Miles Steelgis will see in the backfield. Whipple, play action. I'm going to keep it now as Whipple barrels his way past the 45 to the 47 for a gain of 3 yards. Jamestown defense, a 3-4-4 look with Jet Wharton and Ryland Doctor at the ends. The nose tackle of Cody Barrett. Linebackers of Fry, Gibson, Gaynor, and Saylor here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Corners of Aiden Scary and Kleingen. Thorlaxon at free safety and Heminger at strong safety here, leading the team with 21 tackles on the season for the Blue Jays. 10 seconds on the play clock. They need 3 here for Kindred. They need the 50. Shotgun formation. You got twins to the near sideline. 3rd down upcoming. Whipple gets the play off as this one's going to bounce to the near sideline. There's a nice play by Hess, and he barrels his way into Blue Jay territory. That's a gain of 5 yards on the play as this one will be with Sawyer Hess. And so far, 3 runs by 3 different Vikings here in this opening drive. 4th play upcoming here for Kindred. The Vikings since 2021 are 49-3. I'll say that again, 49-3 in high school football since 2021. And the Blue Jays have had their own success here in this decade as well, going back-to-back here in the 2020s. Keeping this one, looks to be by Theelgis to the 43-yard line, and Theelgis able to keep that on a little Wildcat package for a gain of 4. So make it 4 different ball carriers, and well, for Coach Burgett and this company, thank you for making the broadcaster sound smart here when you say it's going to be a by committee approach a little bit, and you've seen 4 different players already touching the football here for the Vikings. But the line of scrimmage right now, Kindred getting that initial push, that surge. Credit to Jamestown, they haven't let a big one through yet. One wide receiver is Bacco, and here's, again, where you roll the dice as a defensive coordinator. You go one-on-one with Brooks, or do you allow the big guys up front? Here's a little fullback dive. Gets his way for about to the 41-yard line. That's going to be Fisher Johnson. So Johnson able to get a couple of yards and bring up 3rd and manageable. And as a defensive coordinator, when Kindred goes into that double tight I formation and you leave Bacco one-on-one, early on as an offense coordinator, you're going to see how they're going to play you. And if they're going to give Bacco one-on-one, you know the play's going to go out there at some point later on throughout the game. But the Vikings right now trying to see if they can get the first. Jamestown's defense looking to stingy up a little bit here in the gun as they will motion the wide receivers, make that the running backs over. This goes to Hess. Hess gets the numbers, makes a cut, gets to the 30-yard line to the 25. Little Wildcat package for the second time in this one. They motion Theelgis and Hess to the left-handed side, and then Hess became a lead blocker as we're able to get to the 42 to the 25 for a gain of 17. 2 carries now for 22 yards on the play. Able to see this one moving its way, matriculating down the field here for the Kindred Vikings. That started with 10:09 here in the first quarter at the 40-yard line. Longest play from scrimmage here today for either club. Able to get to the outside. We'll see what they do here. Play clock under 10 as Kindred gets to line. Bacco near sideline, twins to the right. Jamestown looking to match up here. in the shotgun formation. All tough, little play action. Whipple getting pressured. Whipple steps up, fires, throws for Starcevic, incomplete at the 5. Well, they lost a guy who stands at 6'5" in the secondary, but they were fortunate on the back end that the front end got a little bit of pressure, because otherwise that would have been a walk-in touchdown for Starcevic, and that'll be a missed chance here for Kindred. But nice play design, able to roll Whipple out a little bit. You kind of flood Baco on a post pattern and kind of leave that little shallow cross coming through for Starcevic. See if Kindred maybe goes back to that particular play call a little bit later on. Regardless, here it brings up 2nd and 10. Here's your double tight I formation. Baco by himself on the outside. Down the I is Sawyer Hess. Whipple under center. Handoff goes to the aforementioned Hess. Hess looking to spin, and the Blue Jays swarm. Really nice play for a tackle for a loss. Coming in is going to be Aiden Scary. Also helping him out is Saylor. That's going to bring up a 3rd and a long 10. So they will say that Hess does get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, the Blue Jay defense trying to make their own stand on the opening drive, as we saw from Kindred here earlier in this one. As we'll see the 3rd and 10 upcoming here. A late play caller coming in, or a late player here in Althoff, as Althoff able to get to the backfield. Play clock to 7 seconds. Play action. Whipple rolls looking for Starcevic. Instead, we'll flip this one to the boundary. So that'll go to Theelgis. Really nice drawn-up play. You got 3 levels. You got Baco, Starcevic, and also on that play, making just a smart little pitch and catch to Theelgis. That's a gain of 11 yards. Just immediately looked like where Whipple was able to roll, maybe looking deep, but the Blue Jays had it covered well. So what do? You hit your check down, able to hit him on the roll. And so far, we've seen play action. We've seen a little bit of I shotgun. Vikings right now doing a little bit of everything. Bill Nelson, the head coach, said, you know what, for Coach Starcevic, who's the offense coordinator, Coach Nelson for Jamestown, the head coach, is the scout for the offense. He goes, I have more fun running your offense than I think anyone else's across the state. First down upcoming, another play action. The Blue Jays able to read it, but Whipple slithers out of a sack. He's at the 15. Whipple near sideline at the 10. Stiff arm, 2-1, and he's down. Oh, they had him dead to rights there by Fry. What should have been a potential 5-yard loss on a sack is a first down and ball spotted at the 2. A 12-yard play there for Whipple, and a really nice play at that. All of a sudden, as the D end, you don't bite on the play action. It's probably the one time you're going to have a free shot at Whipple as a defensive end potentially throughout the course of a game. A coulda, woulda play, but the Vikings with Whipple, good old backyard football, able to get it to a 1st and goal situation. This clock has taken nearly 5 minutes on the drive as they go to a bunch on the far sideline. 1st and goal, ball at the 2, Whipple. Hands it off, Althoff plows into the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. From 2 yards out, Clayton Althoff, the 5'9" sophomore, with a house call. A really nice drive from the Viking perspective. They get one big play outside of Whipple's 12-yard run that went more than 10 yards in Hess. A lot of 3, 4, and 5-yard rushes, but it does the trick. As coming on for the PAT is Graham Hess, 12 of 14 so far here on the season. Clean snap, the right-footed kick is up, and that puppy is good. 5:14 left to play in the opening quarter. It's Kindred up by 7.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Back here on YourLiveEvent.com, that drive went 60 yards, 4 minutes and 55 seconds went off the clock. And taking a look, he had 3, 5, 9, 11 play drive that went 60 yards. Here's another end-over-end kick. This will give a Sailor the opportunity, and this time he gets wrapped up at the 35-yard line. As the Vikings coming in on the tackle with the aforementioned Althoff, who just scored. It's a 10-yard return, and Jamestown will have their second drive here in the opening quarter. Ball at the 35 here for the Blue Jays. And this is the one thing for anybody playing Kindred this season, is trying to win the first quarter in the first half. What Kindred has done a really good job of, especially here the last couple of seasons, they get out and hide in front of teams, and they're up by 2-3 scores before you get to the half. Here goes Fry. He's bouncing to the near sideline. Fry is going to get tackled in open spaces by Brooks Bacco. So far, a little sweet feet there for Fry. Made a man miss, but you can just see Bacco with the speed to chase Fry down. It's a gain of 1. As the Blue Jays with the football here, as they will come out again with Carson Schmidt, the sophomore. 237 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks so far in 2 games this season. Schmidt, little post pattern. This can be caught past the 40, and the Blue Jays with a really nice play there by Remick. Remick with his 5th catch of the season for the tight end. We'll see where they get forward progress. Original line was at the 41, and they will mark it all the way to make that the 36. They'll mark it all the way to the 44, so a nice pitch and catch of 8 yards. As it'll be the second completion of the game here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Makes a very much more manageable third down situation here for Jamestown. Play action as Schmidt rolls near sideline, pumping, looking. This one is batted. Bacco was looking for his second pick as the intended receiver was Remick, and it looks like Jamestown's going to punt this football away. These are always interesting spots early on in the game. Ball's at midfield. Do you maybe go for the fake? You maybe go for a hard count, try to see if you get a free 5 yards. Right now for Bill Nelson and his team, looking to play a little field position game here. As the punter coming on here is Thorlaxon. High snap that goes through his hands. Thorlaxon here at the 20, trying to make a man miss. Does to the 25-30. Thorlaxon 35-40. Can he get the first? Yes. Oh my, a backyard broken play. Thorlaxon goes from the 20 to the 50 for a first down, and that'll actually net 6 yards on the play. And we've seen both teams with grade A opportunities to make a play on defense or special teams, and the Blue Jays will try to make the most of it as they convert a 4th down. So 6 yards for Thorlaxon, and the Blue Jays indeed made 1 and 2 guys miss, got to the boundary, made a 3rd miss, and eventually gets the first. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry trying to bounce his way to the outside, and Kindred did a good job of just mucking that one up. Starcevic alongside with Swenson and Mauk. Sometimes if you don't get there to the running back, if you can just force him to turn a little left or turn a little right, you can fill in with the backside linebacker. Gain of about a half yard, if that. 5 carries for 12 yards here for Fry. Makes it 2nd down. Blue Jays, they will try to convert after a golden opportunity here on a 4th down. Able to get that one with Thorlaxon. Handoff again. Goes right between the sticks, and the Vikings go up high. They go down low. Fisher Johnson goes down low. As you're able to see that one with Starcevic going up high, and that'll be ball at the 50-yard line. 3rd and long here for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays, next couple of games at Devil's Lake, then home to Dickinson in the Buffalo City on October the 3rd. And you got Watford City and Minot North and St. Mary's to close out the year. Shotgun, clean snap, throwing down the field is Schmidt looking for a man. He had a step on the far side with Remick at the 20, incomplete. Not a bad ball there by Schmidt. That's one the Blue Jays will like back, and they will come on to punt this football away. As you'll have the long snapper having a second chance at this one with Mason Joseph. Well, Max Bernier said, you know what, it's going to be, our cameraman said, it's going to be a little slick out there just with the turf and with where the football is, and we've seen that happen once or twice. Now Jamestown will shift. You have 4 to the near side, and all of a sudden now Jamestown will see if they elect to go for it or a fake. Thorlax going to punt this ball away end over end to the near side. They'll take a Blue Jay bounce inside the 15 to the 10 and be picked up there. Not a bad formation when you think about it. You put 4 guys like in a bobsled and a diamond to the near side. You rugby-style kick it that way and say, hey, Baco, you got 4 white jerseys if you're going to try to get it through. And a good flip of the field here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. Does eventually result in a punt. 2:32 left to play here in the opening quarter. Second drive here for Kindred, as this will be at the 11-yard line. As the Vikings working from the south end zone, trying to get to the north end zone. All 3 timeouts remaining for both teams here in this opening half. As you'll see, Whipple with Althoff here to the left-handed side. This one will go to Althoff here, and Althoff's going to get wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Really good play. Coming in was Liam Fry. The 6'2 senior does have a sack on the season. That'll be about his 15th tackle. It's going to be a loss of 1. Well, Nelson mentioned just keep getting better throughout the course of the season. They felt like they got better from week 2 to week 3, and he understood the challenge in front of him here at this Kindred club, saying, listen, this Viking team, they're good in special teams, they're good in defense, they're good on offense. We know from a Jamestown point of view, mentioned that they better bring it here against Kindred or it could be a rough night, as the Vikings will go to the I formation here. Play action, looking for Baco, but that one will be incomplete and make it now 3rd down and 11. Whipple so far 1 of 3 through the air for 11 yards. The Vikings trying to improve to 4-0 on the season with wins over Devils Lake, Horace, and St. Mary's. They will play at Grand Forks Red River for their first 2A East region game next Friday, then have homecoming against Fargo South in Kindred. That'll be on October the 3rd, and play Grand Forks Central, Wahpeton, and the rival Central Cass to close out the season. Vikings get to the line here. 5 seconds on the play clock. Trips to the right-handed side. Gabe Whipple, the senior motion man, going left to right. They get the play off. Little play action here. Whipple all day to throw. Steps up, fires, looking for Baco deep down the field at the 40. Oh, what a catch by Baco. Baco to the 40, and Baco is loose. You got Baco'd. That one goes 90 yards for a house call, and Brooks Baco with another highlight catch here in his stellar career for the Vikings. Baco, 1 catch for 90 yards and a touchdown, not a bad average. And if you're Whipple, you throw that ball up just a little underneath, but Baco with that 6'5 frame and those box jumps kind of mentality, able to go up, climb it, and then show you the afterburners on the speed. Point after attempt here coming for Graham Hess. The right-footed kick is up, and that one will miss on the PAT. But the Kindred Vikings do score a 90-yard pitch and catch. Whipple with his 7th passing touchdown of the season. Baco with his 4th touchdown receiving here on your LiveVent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
A 90-yard pitch and catch. Whipple to Baco. Here's the right-footed end-over-end kick that'll be returned to the 20-yard line here for the Blue Jays on the far sideline. And Jamestown, so far on special teams, has had a pretty good day. Aiden Scarry with his first return past the 40 to about the 45-yard line. And that's where Jamestown will take over for their 3rd possession here of this opening quarter. Taking a look back here for the Kindred Vikings. Goes 1 minute and 1 second off the clock, eventually 90 yards. The 90-yard pitch and catch from Whipple to Baco here as the Vikings now are up by 2 possessions. Blue Jays looking to get something consistency on the ground, maybe get a big play through the air here for Schmidt. Motion man going right to left is Verke on a jet opportunity. Verke trying to get past as coming right through the A-gap. Here was Jeremy Knight, the sophomore, maybe disrupted the timing up a little bit here, and that'll be a loss of 2 yards. So tough play if you're a Blue Jay fan to get behind the sticks, and here's what Jamestown was trying to avoid, these long 2nd and 8s and 10s, 3rds, 10s and 12s that we've seen so far through these 3 possessions. Twins both right and left. Schmidt steps up, fires, throws, going to be complete at the 47. As that was a nice pass to the outside to Van Berkom, the sophomore, as that goes for a gain of 10. 18 yards, 3 of 6 passing for Schmidt. As we'll see a 3rd down and very manageable now here for the Blue Jays. So 3rd and 2 here for Jamestown. 20 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. Shotgun. Schmidt looking for the screen. They got it set up. They needed 2. They got about a yard. Vikings do a good job. Jeremy Knight, Tannen Johnson able to read that play perfectly as that went to Will Bennett. And that will probably end the second quarter. Or excuse me, the first quarter. After 1 quarter here in Horace, it's the Kindred Vikings up by 13 on your livevent.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
High school football here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Chase Miller, Max Bernier with you. As this is going to be what looks like a punt opportunity, but again, you get the quarter break to come through a little bit here for Jamestown to see if you might elect to go for it or, again, play field position. The Vikings won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. Also would like to thank some of our sponsors, including Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. From banking to insurance, let Jim Pearson and the crew at Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency handle your requests. For more information, go online to kindredstatebank.com. And also, how about Trey Teberg, a semifinalist now for his play that he had throughout the Legion baseball season. Go online, you can vote. You have a chance to allow Trey to see if he can have the play of the year. Also, there's some cash involved. $25K is not a bad thing if you win the play of the year as well. So talk to Emily, talk to Brian, talk to the Teberg family, as voting is going to be going on for the next few days here for that play that they make in the summer during Legion baseball. So it'd be 4th down upcoming here. And now the Blue Jays going to elect to go for this one. So you got 2 wide receivers near sideline in the gun. Let's take a look here is going to be Fry. This almost as a wildcat formation here. Fry at the quarterback spot, the tailback. It's a direct snap. Fry makes a cut, gets the first down and some. And look at Fry bulldoze his way past the 40 to the 37. It's a gain of 9. He went right behind the right tackle of Olsen and the right guard of Wharton. And one thing that Fry does, he puts his foot in the ground. He says, give me the rock and let's go. He got a gain of 9. 7 carries now for 21 yards. A first down here for the Blue Jays, and a desperately needed first down as well here for Jamestown, trying to cut this one into a 1-score game. As you'll see, Carson Schmidt throwing. Near side, caught a man to Sailor. Sailor to the 25, has the first down. Just going to allow Sailor on the boundary here to the 23-yard line. It's a pitch of 15 yards and 3 straight completions here for Schmidt. And he's hit 5 different receivers so far here for the Blue Jays. So for Jamestown, get the first down, starting to knock on the door here early on in quarter number 2. One wide receiver again, both to the left and the right. Schmidt with Fry in the backfield. Clean snap, handoff goes to Fry. Fry makes a cut, gets to the 20, and then he's wrapped up and tackled on the play by Tannen Johnson. Johnson and Knight so far been very active here with this Blue Jay offense. Those 2 linebackers been very active for the Vikings. 8 carries for 23 yards here for Fry. Jamestown bring up a second down just outside the red zone. Take a look down at your wristband. One wide receiver, near sideline is Sailor. You got one to the right-handed side here in Verke. Double tight end. Fry will go in a little orbit motion. Pitch play goes to Fry. Fry trying to get to the numbers, does, and the Vikings do a good job stringing that one out. But it is about a gain of maybe 3 to 4 yards here, as it looks like they'll be putting it about at the 18-yard line. Immediately you thought, could Fry get to the edge then turn it up, but Kindred just kept stringing it out a little bit. So a 3rd down and 5. But if you're the Blue Jays, you'll take 3 yards on this play, 3 yards on the next play, and try to get that first down. Twins both left and right. Kindred with 3 down linemen. They will bring 4. This is going to be a pass by Schmidt, and it's deflected and nearly an interception. So they'll bring up a 4th down here for the Blue Jays. And that was close, again, for this second interception here from a Kindred perspective. So 4th down upcoming for Jamestown. They will need the 13 for the first. 10:43 left to play in the opening half, as the Blue Jays will overload the near sideline with 3, 1 to the right-handed side. Their tight end looks like Tucker Allen. 4th and 5. Kindred brings 3. They throw this one up in the end zone, and this is incomplete. Was there any hold or not? Remick unable to come down with that one. The defense wins the battle. It'll be a turnover on downs. So 10:36 left to play in the quarter number 2. The Vikings will take over here at the 18-yard line. For Kindred, starting field position of their own 40, 11, and now the 18. For the Blue Jays, interception, punt, and turnover on downs so far here for Jamestown. Also at the half, it's the Hall of Fame induction from earlier today at Kindred. We'll let you know who was able to be part of the Hall of Fame class for Kindred activities, Kindred athletics, just Kindred in general. Here at the half, take a look at our first half numbers. That and more. This game a half hour old here at Horace. Low snap, trying to make his way to the near side, making a cut here is Hess. And Hess fumbles the football. It's loose at the 35-40, and picking it up are the Blue Jays. Coming away with it is Matt Gibson, and immediately like a slip and slide, it hit the 30 and took a big bounce. And the Blue Jays defense makes a stand. So Hess got a gain of about 6 yards on the play before that ball came out. And the Blue Jays able to pick that puppy up at the 40-yard line. So the fumble, and now the Blue Jays with it at 10:27 here in the second quarter. Second time the Blue Jays will have it in positive territory at the 49, their own 35, their own 40, and now at the Viking 40-yard line for their 4th possession. Schmidt looking to set up the screen as they do to the outside. Blue Jays get this one to the boundary, and eventually a tackle for about 7 yards to Will Bennett, as Will Bennett able to get a little screen play of 7. First time the Vikings sniffed that one out. The second time the Blue Jays will get 8. They'll mark it down. So Bennett 2 catches now for 9 yards. Now for Jamestown, you've got the opportunity to cash this one in. If you let this one go awry, you start to wonder if and could throughout the course of the game. But if the Blue Jays can put this one in the end zone, it's back to a 1-possession game, as this one by Bennett able to roll his way to about the 30-yard line. For the Blue Jays, that's their 4th different ball carrier with a rush. They needed 2. They got 2. First down, Jamestown. As the Blue Jays State champs way back in 1933 over Fargo Central, and then 33 to 2021 in between their state championships, as this one's going to be flipped and incomplete. That would have been a gain of at least 5, if not more. The intended receiver was Van Berkom, and that will bring up a 2nd and 10. Blue Jays went back-to-back state titles in what was A, which was the second highest during those 2 years because you had AA, A, 11B, and then 9B, defeating Bismarck St. Mary's and defeating Fargo North at the Dakota Bowl in 2021 and 22. Blue Jays been consistent under Bill Nelson 5 straight years of the playoffs, and they've made it 7 of the last 8 seasons as well. Jamestown will see this with Carson Schmidt, fires to the 25-yard line at the hash, and that will be caught on the way by Seffi Saylor. Love the name. Saylor able to get about a gain of 4. 46 yards passing. Saylor with his second reception now for 19 yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 6. Last season, Blue Jays went 5-5 overall, losing to West Fargo Horace in the quarterfinals, the eventual state champ last season in AA, and then vaulted up to AAA here this year. They're at number 1 Bismarck Legacy in 3A tonight for Horace. 3rd and a long 6. Schmidt throws it. This one at the 5, going to be incomplete. And a 4th down upcoming. 8 of 14 for 46 yards and an interception here for Schmidt. But when he floats that one down the field, trying to give his wide receiver a chance to go make a play, maybe looking for a defensive holding or pass interference, as we'll see the play clock here at 18 seconds as Jamestown has all 3 timeouts. They quickly will head to the line here for the Blue Jays. Viking fans making some noise. You got Twins to the right, 1 in the near sideline. Play clock down to 3. Schmidt in the gun. Gets the snap off. Vikings bring 4. Schmidt steps up, throws, looking for the end zone. This is going to be picked off again here by Kindred. We do have a flag at the 15-yard line, barring the interception. It could be the second by Baco unless it's a defensive flag in the secondary at the 16. And how Jamestown's reacting, they think this is on Kindred. So the flag back at the 16, and we'll see Chris Larson, the white hat, here the first time tonight, having a flag on a play. And see if it's pass interference, holding variety, or was there no flag at all? If there was no flag at all, the Vikings will see it. Nope, they will say pass interference. And this will be a 1st down, so the flag will come against the Vikings. That'll be their first one. Mark it from the spot at the 26, so you'll go 13 yards and be a 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line. Baco was on the precipice of having 2 interceptions and a touchdown in the opening 14 minutes. Instead, the Blue Jays, 1st and 10. Schmidt pumps, rolls near sideline, pocket collapses, flips, fires. This will be incomplete. But another flag, and you got 2 of them at the 18 and at the 23, and this will be a holding on the Blue Jays. So after a clean first quarter, the second quarter here has 2 flags. Here in this one. Still to come on our halftime show. We'll also let you know what's on store tonight on yourliveevent.com. Games in Minnesota and North Dakota, some good ones in 11A. Minnesota, an interesting section game in Ada here tonight. 1st down here for the Blue Jays at the Kindred 23. 1st and 20 here for Jamestown. As you see, Schmidt throwing. This one will go to Saylor. Saylor breaks a tackle, gets to the 15, and spins his way to the 14. Saylor gets a gain of about 8. As Saylor with his 3rd catch of the evening. Good play from the Blue Jay perspective, getting a good chunk of that portion back. For Kindred, you're going to keep everything in front of you here for the time being and try to get your defense, get that second turnover, or possibly get off the field. So far, for both teams, 1 turnover. Jamestown with the pick, Kindred with the fumble. 4th possession of the game here for Jamestown. As you see Verkey in the slot. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry looking to bounce his way. Does. Trying to get to the 10. Baco looking to break him down as Fry will get pushed to about the 8, maybe the 7 on the play. A healthy gain, and they will give him the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Fry, 10 carries for 43 yards and like a bowling ball barreling his way down to the 7-yard line. High school football here on YourLiveEvent.com. 4th game of the season, both for the Blue Jays and the Vikings. One wide receiver near sideline here for the Blue Jays and Saylor. One to the right. Shotgun here for Schmidt. Handoff, Fry. Fry looking to bounce, trying to cut at the 5. Makes his way to the 3. Fry trying to push the pile. They will mark it, looks to be at the 2, and that would be enough to gain and bring up a 1st and goal opportunity, and they will mark him at the 2-yard line. So a gain of 5. He gets the first down by a yard. I like what Fry kind of did there. Got to the edge and said, okay, I need to get up the field here and get a couple of yards. Vikings nearly were able to stonewall him at the 3, but they will give him a first down. Here's Jamestown knocking on the door in a possession that has taken 3 minutes off the clock so far, back at the Kindred 40-yard line where this started after the fumble. As you'll see, Fry with the football. Fry looking to the left-handed side, spins his way in behind Doctor, the left guard, and Barrett, the left tackle, into the end zone, and the Blue Jays are back within a possession. A 2-yard rushing score by Fry, as that will be his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. I'll feed the big man that can run here in the 6'2 senior Fry. Point after attempt upcoming, as this will be by Carson Schmidt. The right-footed kick, end over end, is no good. But the Blue Jays are back within 7 with 7:12 left to play here in the second quarter.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
For the Jamestown Blue Jays, a drive that goes 3 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock, takes 40 yards to go down the field, and the 4th possession, able to find Pater for the score here for Jamestown. Back within 7 with just over 7 minutes to play here in the opening half. Little pooch kick that's going to make its way to the 20-yard line as Sawyer Hess picks it up at the 25, makes a cut to the 30. A 10-yard return on the play. The Blue Jays with a pretty good coverage. Verke comes in on the tackle, and that's where the Vikings will start their 4th possession of the game. So ball will be at the 30-yard line here for Kindred. Touchdown, and fumble so far here for the Vikings. As the fingers crossed for the fans in attendance here that slowly but surely, with how the forecast looks and the radar, maybe the clouds breaking up a little bit. Not too shabby of a night once you had that first storm kind of rolling on through. Twins still left, one to the right-handed side. Shotgun is low. Whipple with a little play action, looking for the home run for Bacco. Bacco incomplete at the 35, and if Brooks catches that one, no one's catching him. That would have been 70 yards. Instead, it's a 2nd and 10. Whipple so far 2 of 5 through the air for a touchdown and 101 yards. If you're just joining us, that good chunk of the 101 yards went to Bacco on a 90-yard pitch and catch. At the 10-yard line, Whipple threw it 30 yards, and Bacco took it the extra 60 for the house call. Don't mind that play call, though, right? Try to take a shot after Jamestown scores. You go one-on-one with Bacco on the play. A little wind-aided, as that is wind blowing in from the north, so helping out Whipple a little bit. Trips to left-handed side. 3 seconds on the play clock and a timeout for Coach Burgett. We'll break with him. Timeout brought to you in part by Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
High school football here today. That timeout brought to you in part by Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. For more information, go online to kindredstatebank.com. That'll be their first here of the opening half. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Trips the left-handed side. We'll see where Whipple goes with Clayton Altoff in the backfield with him. As they're looking for the screenplay to Altoff, and the Blue Jays able to get there. They just smothered up Altoff, who was unable to get through the big guys up front. And for the Blue Jays, coming in on the outside, eventually coming away with a tackle and a sack is Blackmore. As that goes from the 30 all the way back to the 14, and Whipple, that's one of those where you just say you're unable to find any daylight or real estate, so not trying to force a turnover there, just says we'll take the sack instead. But the Blue Jays just kind of jammed Altoff where he was unable to get through the line. If he's able to get through the line, there was some room and some grass in front of him. But instead now it's 3rd and a country mile. The Vikings need the 40. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Whipple steps up, looking for the far side. Off the hands of Starcevic at the 25. And that'll make it a 4th down here for the Blue Jay defense. So you get a big score, you make a stop, and all of a sudden, don't look now, the Blue Jays, they can field this punt cleanly and nicely. They will have a chance to tie or possibly take the lead on this next drive. As Baca will come on to punt. Brooks so far 8 punts in the season, averaging about 32 yards per attempt. Verkey stands back at midfield here for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have blocked a couple against Wahpeton. Nearly blocked this one. Baco gets it away, takes a bounce at the 50, a Viking hop to the 45, and not a bad punt here by Baco, able to have 40 yards on it. That's where Jamestown will start with their 5th drive of the football game. 6:37 remaining here in the opening half. Make sure you stay tuned with us. We'll take a look at some early scores from across the state. A lot of games getting underway at 6:30 or 7 here tonight. First down here for Jamestown. 2 wide receivers to the right-handed side and twins to the left. As the Blue Jays right now, see where they go with Schmidt and Fry. Fry's been the heavy hitter so far for the Blue Jays. Schmidt going down the field. It's picked off here from Kindred. Tannen Johnson to the 30, to the 25. Johnson, could he go? Yes, sir! A 45-yard pick six for Tannen Johnson. And the Vikings, with their 2nd interception of the night, hits pay dirt for a 19-6 lead. Never saw Tannen there in that little zone. 45 yards in the 2nd pick. This one goes for a house call, and the Vikings are back on the board here in quarter number 2. Able to see that one come across the field as you'll have the point after attempts here on the way. Here for Kindred. Coming on for the point after attempt is Graham Hess. And Graham Hess with the right-footed PAT is up, and that puppy is good. 6:25 left to play in the first half. It's 20-6 Kindred.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
The Ringneck is the perfect stop for lunch or dinner in Leonard, North Dakota. They have a wide variety menu from burgers, wraps, steak, chicken, and seafood. For that small-town family-owned dining experience, check out the Ringneck today. To place an order ahead of time for takeout, call 701-645-2461. That's 701-645-2461. For more information and daily food specials, search the Ringneck on Facebook. That's the Ringneck in Leonard.
A 48-yard pick six here for Tannen Johnson. The Vikings are back up by 2 scores here at 14 as the Kindred Vikings of Verkey gets tossed around at the 32-yard line. All right there, Tannen Johnson kind of putting in for a play of the game. Just kind of felt like the Blue Jays had some momentum going on their side, and then boom, you get the pick, and bang, you get in the end zone. And here comes Jamestown now. 2 turnovers. Been both interceptions that have costed the Blue Jays, and now they will have it at the 30-yard line here for Jamestown. But with the way they can go with Fry and get the ball down the field, Jamestown trying to make this a one-score game now before the half. Fry with the football. Fry had a little daylight. Then all of a sudden, here comes lean and mean 6'5" junior Starcevic just to deliver the lumber. Looked like there was a little daylight there for Fry after he made the cut, and then boom, there came 88 for the tackle. It's a gain of 2. Second down here for the Blue Jays. As you'll see this, wide receiver out to either side is, again, Carson Schmidt, the sophomore. Hand off to Fry. It's a fumble. Fry takes a stick right at the 30. Oh, my. Jeremy Knight able to come through the A gap and put Fry on his keister. That's a loss of 2. And Fry just had nowhere to go with it because the ball on the exchange from the quarterback, he looked down to make sure he could secure the ball. Then when he looked up, he had the sophomore 52 Knight right in his face. 3rd and 10 here for the Blue Jays. They need the 41 for the first. Looking for a little tunnel screen here. As this one goes to Saylor. Saylor to the 35 and to about the 37. Not a bad play call, all things considered on that one. Saylor with his 4th catch, trying to get it to your playmaker in space. Just Kindred able to see that one a little bit from the defensive and linebacker spot to get back and not allow that to become a potential bigger play than what it was. Thorlaxon to come on to punt. Baco stands back at his own 30-yard line here under 5 minutes in the first half. Clean snap. Thorlaxon. I'll see a end-over-end kick. This will bounce at the 40. Jamestown. We'll see this, and there is a flag on the play. The question is if it's running or roughing, but even if it's running, it will be 5 yards. There is a flag back at the 25-yard line as the officials will talk this one over. If it is on Kindred, it would be a first down upcoming here for the Jamestown Blue Jays with a running into the kicker. Again, if it was 4th and 6, it'd be a little more interesting, but on a 4th and 4, even a running into the kicker will give them the first down. So the Vikings will see the running into the kicker. The hit wasn't much. It was enough to spin him. Officials talk it over. They throw the flag, and they will say there was enough on the play on the through of the right-footed kick. So the Blue Jays will continue to have life on this possession and see if they can get something going here offensively. Schmidt and Fry again in the backfield. Twins right 1 near sideline. Handoff. This will go to Fry. Fry at the 45 and gets tackled at about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4. As coming in on the tackle here is Miles Stroh. 15 carries for 54 yards on the way here for Fly. Right on that Horace Hawk emblem. Getting close to midfield here for the Blue Jays. They have all 3 timeouts remaining. Kindred has 2 left here in the half. A little tight bubble formation. Fry will get it on the pitch. Fry trying to make a man miss, unable to do so. Really good play. Whipple on the tackle. Alongside with him is Jackson Schliemann. As that goes back for a loss of 1. But Fry, a very workmanlike game so far here in this first half. 16 carries here for the Blue Jays on their 19 attempts. Third down here for Jamestown as they will go twins, both left and right. 3 down linemen for the Vikings. Blue Jays need the Viking 48 for the first. Schmidt fires, throws this one incomplete as he was looking for Verke and went off of his hands, then nearly interception here by Bacco and brings up a 4th down. Verke would love to have that one back, a little elevated there, if you will, having to climb the ladder after the attempt by Schmidt. But the Viking defense will be able to come out and make a quick stand after the running into the kicker. And now we'll see another punt opportunity here for Thorlaxon. Stands back at his own 32. High snap goes over his head. Thorlaxon will run to the far side, makes a man miss to 25 and gets decked. Oh, what a play by Miles Stroh. Able to hit him back, and that one will flip the field negatively for the Blue Jays of 20 yards to about the 25. So the second time we've seen a high snap. The first time the Blue Jays able to pull a rabbit out of their hat and get a first. This time it'll haunt them. So turnover on downs, and the Vikings will handle it here with their 5th possession of the game. 3:16 remaining in positive territory, as this will be the first drive that'll start in Jamestown territory here for Kindred. Vikings with Whipple. Low snap, Gabe looking for Bacco, now to Starcevic on a post, has Luke for the touchdown. One play for Hausko. 26 yards, Whipple to Starcevic for his 2nd receiving touchdown of the season. You go one-on-one, and you overload it with Bacco going down the numbers. No safety help over the top, and when Starcevic faked outside, came back in at the hash, able to get the touchdown. And the Vikings are back on the board here as they lead it by 20. Point after attempts upcoming here for Graham Hess. As Hess looking to put this one through the uprights. Right-footed kick is end over end, and this one is up, and it is good. It's 27-6 Kindred with just over 3 minutes to play here in the opening half.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
One play and one score for Kindred. Whipple to Starcevic for 26 yards. Hess, that's Graham with the PAT. Here come the Blue Jays, and I'll give credit to give credit to Jamestown. Their kickoff return has done really well here this evening so far, and Scary gets his 2nd return. This one again past the 40 to about the 44-yard line here for Jamestown. This is already their 7th possession of the game. They've started at the 49, 35, 40. Positive 40, 45, 30, and 44 here for the Blue Jays. As we'll see Jamestown come out here, 2 wide receivers, both split out to the left and the right. Little tight to the near sideline here. That's Carson Schmidt, the 5'10 sophomore, sees a motion man, and Verke able to hand this one off as this will go for about a gain of 1 to 2, as it'll be with Bennett. Bennett for a gain of 2 yards. He's got 4 yards on the ground so far here tonight. So 2nd and 8 on the way for Jamestown. And how quickly do you want to go right now if you're the Blue Jays? You want to put one in the end zone? Yes. But if you have a quick 3 and out and give Kindred the ball, we've seen them particularly through the air have big explosive plays here for Kindred. As Carson Schmidt at the 40-yard line. Little jet sweep action. This will go to the outside, and eventually the Vikings stick it. Saylor trying to get to the edge, and Eric Burghead wants to call a timeout. So timeout on the field will break with them. Minus 1 yard on the rush there by Sailor. It'll be third and a long 9 when we return.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Timeout on the field brought to you in part by Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. The Vikings with one more timeout remaining. And if you're a Coach Bergad, you're thinking, all right, let's make a stop, have 2 minutes to work with to try to put the ball down the field, see if you can put one through the end zone, get up 34-6 roughly at the half. And if you can do so, you get the ball first, start the second half. And then if you put that one in the end zone, it's running time for the remainder of the game. Well, for Bill Nelson's Blue Jays here, see if they can get a first down, move the chains, and see if they can get the offense jump-started here on this possession a little bit here for Jamestown. Timeout again brought to you in part by Kindred State Bank and Insurance Agency. Trips near sideline 1 to the right. Shotgun again for Carson Schmidt. Clean snap. 3 down lineman rush. Schmidt goes down the field. That's going to be caught at the 35. Big play here for the Blue Jays to about the 26-yard line as this will go to Remick. Oh, that's a deep post pattern down the field for a gain of about, make that 28 yards. Remick, 2 receptions for 36 yards here in this one. Now through the air, it's 88 yards passing for Schmidt. Saw about 2 layers, missed the first guy, and you thought, oh, that could maybe be an overthrow, but then all of a sudden there was Remick run a deep post, and the Blue Jays, with all 3 timeouts, can definitely run the football once or twice, maybe throw a quick screen. We've seen a tunnel and 2 screens to the running back so far. First down upcoming. This one will be a handoff, and spinning his way, that'll be a tackle for a loss of about 2. Starcevic was there also with him. Coming in on the play here for the Vikings was Tannen Johnson, as that'll be a loss of nearly 3 yards here for Bennett. About 75 seconds remaining here in the first half. As Schmidt looking to set the screenplay up, and the Vikings get their 3rd pick of the game. Kindred looking for another pick 6 to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, and making his way to the 15-yard line. The Vikings able to just to see that one a little bit coming through and come away with the interception. Nicely done on the far side of the field here for Kindred, as the pick is made by Lincoln Swenson, the senior, who comes away with the pick. 3rd turnover of the game. Just not sure if Schmidt saw Swenson just kind of hanging in the weeds on the play, just kept going down the line of scrimmage with him, and he's able to make the defensive stand. And now it's the Vikings with just over a minute to go after that Swenson interception. They are knocking on the door here for Kindred. Ball at the 17-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, trips to the right-handed side. Whipple looking for it. Whipple steps up in the pocket at the 15, has a crease to the 10. Whipple cuts in at the 5, and Whipple trying to get in the end zone. He's down at the 1. Nice play by Whipple. Went through the first progression, pocket collapsed, and said, let's get north to south as quickly as we can. Put the shoulder pad down at the 3-yard line, and nearly with that effort was able to get in the end zone. Kindred again with 1 timeout, so if you don't get in on this particular play, you'll have to go quickly. But right now, even with that 1 timeout, everything as a OC is at your disposal. As Whipple goes under center, Hess dots the I. Whipple, handoff, Hess walks in, touchdown Vikings. Sawyer Hess from 1 yard is out. And the Vikings have taken a 33-6 lead. 5 carries, 29 yards, and a score here for Sawyer. And now Graham Hess will come on for the point after attempt, with Miles Steelgis being the holder. And we'll see the Vikings trying to get to their 34th points here in the first half. They averaged 36 points per contest for Kindred so far through 3 games. Right-footed kick is up, and that one will easily split the uprights. 23 seconds remaining here in the first half. Vikings up 34-6. It didn't take too long here for the Kindred Vikings to put that one on the board. They do get the touchdown after the interception by Swenson, capped off by Hess. And for the Vikings, touchdown, fumble, punt, touchdown, and touchdown here so far for Kindred in terms of their offensive drives. And also they got a pick 6. So that's how you get your 34-6 so far here for Kindred. Just a couple of plays at most, unless you get a couple of defensive flags here in the first half, as the Vikings now well in control in this game. Verke with it, gets to about the 35. The old adage, sometimes you might say, the scoreboard doesn't show what the game is. If you're just joining us, it was 13-6 Kindred. About 8 minutes left to play in the first half. Jamestown was able to force a punt and get the ball back. Then one play, boom, there was a nearly 50-yard pick 6 by Tannen Johnson that made it 20-6, and then since then it's been just a freight train of Vikings on the track. I've been able to put this one up to 34-6. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry to the 40, Fry to the 45, and he will make his way for about a gain of 9 yards. As looks like the Blue Jays are just going to capitulate this into halftime. 17 carries now for 62 yards for Fry, and that's how we'll end our first half of play. High school football here at the half. It's the Kindred Vikings 34, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6. We're back with our halftime report next here in Horace.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
As we come back, the Hall of Fame class here for the Kindred Vikings of 2025, as you see on the field, Randy Kramer, a 1983 graduate of Kindred, a standout multi-sport athlete, earning 14 athletic letters during his time at Kindred. Went on to play a couple of years of baseball and 4 years of football at Concordia. Joan Holland, starting teaching at Kindred High School, not here in attendance, but she is part of the 2025 Athletic Hall of Fame, or the Kindred Hall of Fame, back in 1979. Joan, she taught language arts until 2018 and was a substitute teacher from 2018 to 2021. Joan Holland began coaching in the fall of 1980 and coached and advised many roles during her tenure in one-act play, junior high track and field, varsity girls basketball, C-squad girls basketball. You had junior high basketball and the head varsity track and field coach as well. And the annual Joan Holland Classic is in the signature books and part of Joan's tenure. Chuck Ersted, the dad of Darren Ersted, was a graduate of Kindred and the class of 1957 and a standout athlete in football, basketball, baseball, and earned the respect and admiration of those who all played alongside him and well. And then you have Pam and Myron Dybing, will be the first ever inductees into the activities side of the Kindred Hall of Fame. The Dybings were integral in crafting a world-class music program, and Kindred served as the music instructors from 1967 until 1997 as well, showing a bunch of one-acts and able to have a lot of impressions to those that knew him and knew Pam and Myron. That, again, your 2025 Hall of Fame inductees with Randy Kramer, Joan Holland, Chuck Ersted, Pam, and Ryan Dybing. At the half, we'll take a quick break, take a look at the first half numbers when we return.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Homegrown Local Radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
As we come back on our halftime show here, the Kindred Vikings up 34-6 here in this contest. Able to put 21 points up on the board in the second quarter, while Jamestown put up 6. Here's a look at some of your first half numbers. 155 yards of total offense for Jamestown, 89 yards through the air, 66 yards on the ground so far on 23 attempts here for the Blue Jays. They do have 3 turnovers, all of them being interceptions, 1 penalty for 10 yards. Well, for the Kindred Vikings, for them so far, 187 yards of total offense for a Kindred in this one. You have 127-60 on the ground, 127 through the air, 187, yards of total offense so far here for the Vikings in this first half of play. 1 fumble in this contest, and they do have 2 penalties for 18 yards so far here for Kindred. First half numbers for the Vikings: Whipple through the air, 3 of 7 for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. You have a 90-yard pitch and catch to Baco, a 26-yard pitch and catch to Starcevic, and Theolgis with 11 yards as well. Whipple on the ground, 4 carries for 15 yards. Theolgis 1 for 4 yards. You have Althoff so far with 3 carries for 5 yards and a touchdown. Sawyer has 5 carries for 29 yards and a score, and Johnson with a couple yards on the ground here for the Kindred Vikings. Well, for the Jamestown Blue Jays, Carson Schmidt is 10 of 20 for 89 yards and 3 interceptions. Fry, 17 carries for 62 yards and a score. You have from there Bennett 3 carries for 1 yard, Thorlaxon 1 carry for 6, Saylor 1 carry for -1 yard, and then from there Verkey 1 carry for -2 yards. Saylor 4 receptions for 33 yards, Remick 2 for 36, Bennett 2 for 9. You have from there Von Berkham has 1 catch for 10 yards, and Allen 1 catch for 0 yards here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. The Kindred Vikings next 2 games at Grand Forks Red River a week from tonight to open up region play, then hosting Fargo South on October the 3rd for homecoming against the Bruins. We'll have that for you on yourliveevent.com. For the Jamestown Blue Jays, they will make their way to Devil's Lake a week from tonight for their first West Region contest and host Dickinson, the Mavericks, upcoming here on the 3rd for their next home game in the Buffalo City. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at the early out-of-town scoreboard here tonight on yourliveevent.com.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
At the half here on yourliveevent.com, taking a look at your out-of-town scoreboard in AA football. Grand Forks Central 14-6 against Watford City. The Knights lead it by 8, 6 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Wahpeton on the road at Bismarck St. Mary's with a 14-6 lead right now. 14-6 here for the Wahpeton Huskies. 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter at St. Mary's. Red River all over Williston, 49-6 after 1 half of play here in AA. Minot North and Fargo North are scoreless 6 minutes in, and Devils Lake and Fargo South, no update there. That game just kicked off, and Dickinson and Central Cass, that game just kicked off moments ago as well. AAA football, Cheyenne Mandan tied at 14 with 3 minutes left to play in the half in the first. Bismarck Century all over West Fargo here tonight from the Bull, 22-0. 3 minutes left to play in the opening half. Horace and Bismarck Legacy tied at 7. That's number 1 Legacy, number 5 Horace tied at 7. 1 minute left to play before you get to halftime. Red River again over Williston. Shanley Minot, the Deacons lead by 7 with 5 minutes left to play in the first half. Fargo Davies on homecoming night leads the Bismarck High Demons 7-0 with 2 minutes left to play in the first half as well. Some early scores here in 11A. Park River over Carrington 12-0. Valley City leads the Mayport CG Patriots 8-0. The Lisbon Broncos over Oaks 12-0 for some scores in 11A so far for games that just got underway. In 9-man football, Maple River leads 14-8 over Enderlin with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. New Rockford Cheyenne over North Prairie up by 4 with midway through quarter number 1 for some scores here in 9-man football. And an interesting one in Lemoore tonight, homecoming night. Lemoore Litchfield Marion 12, Hankinson 6, 5 minutes into that contest. Here at the half, it's the Kindred Vikings 34, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6. A couple of highlights. Kindred with Whipple with a 90-yard pitch and catch to Baco to make it 13-0. Fry with the lone score to give Jamestown a 16-3 contest with 7:12 left to play in the second quarter. Then on the ensuing possession, Tannen Johnson goes 48 yards for a pick six to make it 20-6. Whipple to Starcevic for 26 yards for the score as well. Those are just some of the highlights here in this first half of play. Kindred 34, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6. Vikings will get the ball to start the second half when we return here from Horace.
The Ringneck is the perfect stop for lunch or dinner in Leonard, North Dakota. They have a wide variety menu from burgers, wraps, steak, chicken, and seafood. For that small-town family-owned dining experience, check out the Ringneck today. To place an order ahead of time for takeout, call 701-645-2461. That's 701-645-2461. For more information and daily food specials, search the Ringneck on Facebook. That's the Ringneck in Leonard. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
High school football here on yourliveevent.com. I'd also like to thank our friends at First Class Mortgage for being a great sponsor as well. Locally owned and operated, First Class Mortgage is more than just a company name. It's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. If you're looking for the lowest interest rates in and around the region, go to First Class Mortgage, located and locally owned in Fargo. Or for more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That again is firstclasscorp.com here on yourliveevent.com as the Kindred Vikings here will receive to begin the second half against this Jamestown Blue Jay club. As right now the Vikings in their gray attire, 13 points in the first quarter, 21 points in quarter number 2. Offered Jamestown scoreless in the first quarter, 6 points in quarter number 2. Our white hat tonight for our official is Chris Larson, umpire Ryan Weber, and linesman Cam Anderson, Jake Schleck, the line judge and the back judge of Nick Nelson. I'm Chase Miller alongside Max Bernier with you here at West Fargo Horace as the Blue Jays will put this one on the tee. Looks to be like, as this will be with Kleingen, as Kleingen will put this one on the tee. And here's the end over and kick, a short one. It'll bounce. Vikings will take it at the 35. The ump man just says, you know what, I'm not going to run with this thing. Let's just get down immediately. And probably not the worst call in the world there by Trey Teberg. Trayton just said, you know what, I'm going to look up. Let's look down and let's just make sure we get the ball at the 35-yard line, which is what a lot of upmen are taught to do. As this will be the 7th possession of the game here for the Kindred Vikings. As this one will start here thrown at 35. 1st and 10. Kindred trying to get this one up over 30 to get running time. Blue Jays looking for a stop and then see what he can do defensively. 3 turnovers for the Blue Jays, 1 here for Kindred in the first half. Pitch will go to Althoff. Althoff makes a man miss. Nice little cut at the 40. Gets to the 45. That cut got him about 7 to 8 extra yards. First down, Kindred. So Althoff, 4th carry of the game. Going to be 17 yards here. Able to make the pitch to the sophomore, and Clayton with some patience, able to see some blocks out in front of him, and then once he made a man miss, able to get into that secondary and some. So 1 wide receiver split out either side as the Blue Jays put 5 men right at the line here on this 1st and 10 play. Althoff with another chance to go right up the middle and bringing him down to about the 49-yard line here from the Blue Jay perspective. It's about a gain of 3 to 4 yards, as able to see Ryland Doctor throw him down, but not before Althoff gets a gain of 4. So what you'd like to do from a Viking perspective is have the offensive linemen, the Brody Malks, the Miles Strohs, the Lincoln Swensons, Tannen Johnsons, and Hudson Kozowskis of the world just lead the way. And quite frankly, they got Starcevic at a tight end, but he's also a lineman out there. Almost 6 offensive linemen here on any given formation for the Vikings. Pitch play, Althoff. Althoff goes to the outside. It's a gain of about 2 to 3. Good tackle on the outside here from the Blue Jay perspective. And Cody Barrett, the 6'2 nose tackle, comes in for a play. It's a 2-yard gain here for Althoff, as they're looking for a long 3 yards here for Kindred. As the Vikings in the first half saw some shotgun where they motioned 5 out into the perimeter. We've seen the double tight shotgun, little bunch formation as well. They'll take their chances when they have them. As we see this here for a 3rd down and a long 3 here for Kindred. Trips the right-hand side. Handoff goes to Althoff. Althoff makes the first man miss, but not the second. Blue Jays get a stick for about a yard. Brings up 4th down and 2. Decision time for Eric Burgett here. If you like to punt, maybe you go for the hard count, try to see if you draw him off for a free 5 yards. Or do you just say, you know what, let's have Baco just pin him deep, take 2 minutes off the clock, let the defense do what they've been able to do for most of the half and get the ball back. As right now, the Blue Jays looking, and they'll see the Vikings elect to try to go for this one here, 4th and 2. Whipple, handoff. This one goes to the right-handed side. There's a first down and some. Nicely done on the outside by Sawyer Hess. Sawyer Hess with a gain of 11 yards. Able to get the hit stick out there for Hess. And a first down here for Kindred. 6 carries for 40 yards for Hess. And it's been run, and more run here to begin this second half of play. 5 so far plays, all on the ground here for the Vikings, and it's taken a chunk of nearly 3 minutes off the clock here in this 3rd quarter of play. Tight formation yet again. Baco near side as they will go under center here with Gabe Whipple. Going to Baco on the one-on-one. It's a little sluggo. Baco beat his man, caught at the 5, into the end zone. And for the second time tonight, Baco has a receiving touchdown. This of 33 yards. 2 receptions for Baco for 123 yards and 2 TDs. But we have a flag on the play. This will be back at the 39-yard line. So take the penalty upcoming. So the penalty will come out and force it back on a hold. The 3rd penalty of the game for 28 yards, so negates the touchdown celebration there for Baco. But you just kind of fake the slant on the inside. It's that little sluggo, hitch and go, however you like to call it. And you run that double move, and as we said, when you go tight, you go one-on-one with someone like Baco. Do you bracket over the top, or do you say we're going to put guys in the box and try to stick the run? 5 wide receivers on the pattern. This one will go to Miles Theelgis with the catch at the 40. It's a gain of 3. Theelgis with his 2nd reception for 14 yards. negate that touchdown. We'll bring up now a 2nd down and 17 here for Kindred. But from a Kindred perspective, the clock keeps on ticking here, as that is your ally right now compared to the Jamestown Blue Jays. You're a Jamestown fan, you're looking up and you're going, there's been 4 minutes already off the clock here in this third quarter. Twins right, 1 near sideline. Altoff in the backfield here with Whipple. Jamestown, we'll see if they bring pressure. They bring 4. Whipple has all day looking for Baco for a post down the field, and this one's incomplete. Baco had a chance at it as he put his hand up in the air. Just couldn't come down with it. Hits the shoulder pad off the helmet. Baco would have had a walk-in 40-yard score. Instead, it brings up an incompletion. Good ball there by Whipple. Put it right pretty much where you would like to have it for a wide receiver. And the Blue Jays have dodged not 1 but 2 Baco scores here on this drive. 7:49 left to play in quarter number 3. Division 2A football here on YourLiveEvent.com. 2 wide receivers near sideline, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation for Kindred with Whipple. Jamestown brings some pressure. Whipple evades it, picks up a block by Altoff, gets to the boundary to the 35, gets to the 30, and Whipple gets 10 yards and brings up a 4th and 7. I've seen Whipple at times in that pocket collapses say, you know what, let's just get some yards. Don't need to make a big-time play down the field. Let's just take what's in front of us on the turf, get 5, get 10, get 15, and brings up a 4th down and 7 here for Kindred. Going out of bounds, the clock will stop at 7 minutes and 40 seconds here in quarter number 3. Very ominous kind of an evening with this cloud cover and with what the rain has kind of brought with us. Mother Nature trying to figure out if it wants to be fall or still like a little summer out there maybe for a few days, as they'll need the 23-yard line for the 1st down. Whipple looking, Whipple rolling near sideline, gets the 30, Whipple fires, throws, this one's intercepted at the 17. The Blue Jays decided to pretty much put 7 back and provide some pressure with their front 4 if they could get there, as Thorlockson comes up with the interception, and it will be a 1st down and 10 here for the Blue Jays. So 2nd turnover of the game for the Vikings. Does take off nearly 4.5 minutes off the clock, and the Blue Jays defense makes the stand. 9th possession of the game here for Jamestown. This will be at their own 20-yard line. Their worst starting field position of the game. 7:32 remaining here in quarter number 3. So the Blue Jays, under the guidance of sophomore quarterback and Carson Schmidt, make the defensive stand. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry making his way to the 23 for a gain of about 3 yards. 18 carries for 65 yards here for Fry. Brings up 2nd and 7. Well, the old bend don't break there for the Jamestown defense. Could have given up possibly 2 touchdowns. One called back via a flag. Another one just went off the hands of Baco. But the defense finds a way to make a stand. Now it's all about, can the offense get something brewing here against this Viking defense? They have had to work for their yards here in this one. Little pitch to the near sideline. Is this going to be caught past the 25? Tucker Allen, a nice target at 6'2", 210 pounds to get the ball to. Able to get a gain of about 4 yards. 93 yards passing. Allen with his 2nd reception of the night. Tucker Allen, if I'm a basketball coach, I'm going, you go in the post and you get a drop step, man, and we're going to feed you the basketball. 3rd down and 3 here for the Blue Jays. They need the 30 for the 1st. Play action. They're looking to set up the screen. Rolling near side. Caught it at the 35. The Blue Jays get to about the 45. They're looking to set up maybe the screen to Fry, but coming in on a crossing route, there is the other tight end of Remick. Well, if you're a tight end, this is the offense for you, as Remick able to make the reception. That'll be his 3rd of the contest. He's got 55 yards receiving, and now over 100 yards passing here for Schmidt. So 1st down on the way. Handoff goes to Fry. Fry able to get the kick out of the defensive end, then passes him past the 50 to the 48. It's a gain of 6. 19 carries for 71 yards here for Fry, and the Blue Jays moving this ball down the field. Started back at their own 20-yard line, as now they're in Kindred Viking side of the 50. Here at the Vikings 48. 2 wide receivers. out in the pattern, one on either side. Fry to the right hand of Schmidt in the backfield. Hard count, they got him to go, and the Vikings will have the will have the penalty. 4 penalties for 33 yards. Chris Larson on the call. As we'll see the first down upcoming here for the Blue Jays. Kindred will see this one with the nose guard right over the ball with Brody Mauk. Got into that neutral zone on the hard count. Haven't seen the hard count too much from either team here this evening. Under 6 minutes to play here in the third. Handoff goes to Bennett. Little scat back there as Bennett makes his way to the 40, a gain of 3. So far when Bennett's been in the game, you've kind of thought screen. They've ran it 2 times, or actually 3 times. 2 times has been a reception. The other was nearly a house call on the pick 6 by Swenson. Second down upcoming here for Jamestown. Make sure once we get to our post-game show, once this one does conclude, we'll get to our play of the game. Final numbers, hear from the victorious team, that and more. So after this one wraps up, after the fourth quarter, make sure you stay tuned for that, and then get ready for some more high school football here tonight on yourliveevent.com. Motion man, we'll go to left to right as Sailor. Looking down the field, this one's going to be caught. Yes, it is at the 25. Coming up and down with that one is Remick. Remick's had the hot hand here from the receiving category. It's a gain of 15. Remick, 4 receptions, now for 70 yards. As Remick, the 5'11 senior, came in with 4 receptions for 93 yards in 3 games. He nearly has that here in 2.5 quarters for the Blue Jays. Just the second combined possession in the half as Fry makes a cut to the 15, and Fry bringing a Viking with him to the 12. It's a gain of 12. 20 carries for 83 yards. First down here for the Blue Jays as Jamestown is trying to put this one in the end zone and cut it to a 34-12. See if you go for the point after attempt or 2. And cut into this deficit a little bit here in quarter number 3. Shotgun formation. They'll hand this one off to Fry again. Fry able to get to about the 11-yard line before he's met and wrapped up there. Able to see this one come through here for the Vikings defensively. That one looked to be by Erdman there making the tackle as it brings up a 2nd and 1. As Fry right now knocking on the door of trying to get to 90-plus yards. 17 seconds on the play clock here. This drive started back at their own 20-yard line with 7:32 here in the quarter. 2 wide receivers right and left in the gun. Here is Schmidt. Schmidt steps up looking for a post pattern, picked off by Bacco, and Bacco gets the interception, his 2nd of the game. I'll speak of bend but don't break. That's the 5th interception here from the Blue Jays. And Bacco just hanging out in center field, comes away with it, and it will be interception. And the defense here for the Vikings able to make the stand as they will get the ball back here at their own 20-yard line. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers combined, both from the interception perspective here in the third quarter. As you'll see it now for the Kindred Vikings to handle the football. Ball will be at the 20-yard line as Kindred, what we saw in the good vast majority of their first drive here of this third quarter was a lot of rushes. Took their shots through the air when it was there. Whipple will pitch this one to the near sideline. Althoff at the 20 makes a man miss. Althoff's got a little shiftiness in him, a little juke. Able to get to about the 23-yard line for a gain of a good 3 yards. We've seen Althoff with a man in front of him kind of have that left to right if you're on a basketball court crossover move. But here in football, just a little left to right, makes a turn and gets north to south quickly here at Horace. As trips go to the right-handed side, Twins to the near sideline here as they will spread it out for the Vikings. Whipple in the shotgun formation. Low snap, Whipple fires. This one at the 30, incomplete as they were looking for Starcevic. Brings up a 3rd down and 7. Going right for the sticks. About 7 yards comeback, try to go get the ball. That one maybe out in front just a little bit more. Could have been a catch. Starcevic gave a good effort for that one. The clock will stop with 2:30 left to play here in the third quarter. For more high school sports from volleyball and football here throughout the week, go to yourliveevent.com to check out our complete schedule rundown, or simply subscribe to our YouTube channel. 3rd and 7, Whipple. Blue Jays bring 4. They find Starcevic, pretty much the same exact play, and look at Starcevic go to the 35. I'll get taken down at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 13. 143 yards here for Whipple through the air. Starcevic makes his second catch this year for 39 yards, and he has a receiving touchdown as well. Well, if it looked good the first time, you went back to it the second time. Back-to-back plays on the sticks pattern brings up a first down and 10 here for the Vikings. Kindred, one near sideline, one to the right, as they'll go in the pistol formation with Whipple. As we'll see Whipple with the handoff. This will go to the right-handed side. The Blue Jays trying to make a tackle to about the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 3, as Althoff is able to get a couple on the play. 9 carries for 30 yards here for Althoff. Brings up a second down, and the Vikings, you run another play. Let the play clock go another 40 seconds. Probably play 2, maybe 3 more here if the clock doesn't stop before the end of the quarter comes up for the Vikings, unless you get a big shot play. Try to get something down the field. Pretty much 9 men in the box here for the Blue Jays. Vikings, this one will be a wildcat to the near sideline. Here goes Hess. Hess looking for a big play, and he's tackled at about the 40-yard line. Really nice play. We'll see where they spot him at. It was at the Kindred 39, and it'll go to the Blue Jay 41 for a gain of 20. And Sawyer Hess able to get to the outside, and Hess was looking for that big chunk play. He's got 7 carries for 60 yards and a rushing touchdown. First down and 10 Vikings. We've seen the Wildcat at particular times here with Theogis, with Hess so far throughout this evening. As they will come out, Whipple in the shotgun. Twins right, one near sideline. Blue Jays, 4 at the line. As Whipple, pocket collapses. Whipple gets to the 40. A Blue Jay man loses his helmet. The flag comes out. Ball will be at about the 32. Losing his helmet on the play was Barrett. So Barrett lost his helmet. The way that this one is looking, it'll be a penalty on Kindred. They had it at the 41-yard line. Sometimes when you lose a helmet, you wonder if it's illegal hands to the face. But if it's a holding penalty, regardless if it's on the Vikings, they'll move them back and negate the rush of nearly 10 yards here for Whipple. As we'll have a conference meeting on the turf in a game that's an hour and 40 minutes old here tonight here at Horace, getting underway just after the 6 o'clock hour. Chase Miller and Max Bernier with you from Horace High School. Kindred ready to have their homecoming game in 2 weeks in Kindred against the Bruins of Fargo South. We'll have that for you here on yourliveevent.com. And starting next week for both 2A and 3A, the games really do matter and determine what postseason and playoff implication will matter, as this is the last non-region game. So this will be on the man who lost his helmet, with Barrett to go play the rest of the play. So the flag comes out, so give the 9 yards to Whipple. Yes, sir, give the 15 yards on the flag, and that'll be a first down. So 6 carries for 34 yards, and then that's a 15-yard penalty. And all of a sudden you blink and it ball's at the 17-yard line here for Kindred. About a 7-second differential between play clock and the game clock here. So they'll call that on the defensive tackle once you lost your helmet to continue to play. As Whipple pops a pass looking for Baco in the end zone. Touchdown Vikings from 17 yards out. Baco now with his second receiving touchdown of the night. And he's got 2 picks as well. What is this, Travis Hunter? As you see the Vikings with a 40-6 lead. 107 yards for Baco through the air, and for Whipple, able to get his third receiving or third passing touchdown. He's got 160 yards through the air here for Whipple. Point after attempt upcoming, and we'll have running clock throughout the remainder of this game. Here comes Graham Hess, the PAT. Right-footed kick is up, and the right-footed kick is good. After 3 quarters of play, Kindred 41, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
High school football here tonight. Just 3 possessions combined between these two teams. That goes 80 yards, 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock for Kindred to finish off the drive. Here comes the Blue Jays, and as we said all night, one area that has been an A+ for Jamestown has been the return game here off kickoffs, as they consistently are able to find a lane, get a crease, get past the 40 to the 45, and ball nearly at midfield there for Scary. 10th possession here for the Blue Jays upcoming. And a lot of them have started near midfield at the positive 49, 40, at the Kindred 40, 45, 44, and now here at the 48-yard line. And the clock will continue to wind here in a mercy rule situation after we get going here on the play. Handoff will go to Fry. Fry will make the cut at the 50. Fry will go to the 45 then on the play. It's a gain of 7. As Fry able to get 7 yards, it'll be 22 carries for 91 yards here for Fry. Trying to get to that century mark here against this Kindred front. As we'll see a new quarterback here with the sophomore Molding in the game. Fry will see this one, and flags are coming out. That could possibly be a chop block with where we saw a Blue Jay offensive player. And they will motion it back, or it's a holding. That's holding. They'll take the penalty. 3 penalties now for 35 yards here for the Blue Jays. As we'll see this here now for Jamestown. Ball will be back with the spot of the foul at their own 45-yard line. 2nd down upcoming here for the Blue Jays. 41-6 on the play. As Jamestown right now looking to stare down the barrel of their 3rd straight loss, as Molding lost the play. This one could be a fumble. And if it is, the Vikings look like they jumped on the football at the 38, and they did. Vikings with the ball, as it'll be Miles Thielgis getting on the turf and creating a turnover. 4 interceptions and now a fumble for Jamestown. That has quite frankly been the story of the game. 5 turnovers for the Blue Jays. As Molding was just trying to throw it out in the flat, and by the time he went to go throw, lost it before he could have the Tom Brady Tucker rule. And that one will be a fumble. And good job by Thielgis in this Vikings defense to play to the whistle, get on the ball, and pick up a fumble and come up with it here for Kindred. As we'll see into the contest here in Schliemann. Schliemann at quarterback now for Kindred. As this will get pitched to the near side, as the Vikings able to get a couple of yards there by Althoff. Going to get about a gain of 1. 10 carries for 31 yards here for Althoff. You've had 10 for 31 for Althoff. Sawyer has 7 for 60 here tonight. Whipple, 6 carries for 34 yards here for the Vikings. as the Vikings with Schliemann again here at quarterback. One wide receiver split out either side here for Kindred. Able to get a couple of new faces into the game for the Vikings here. Schliemann will QB keep, cuts in at the 35 to the 33-yard line as he's going to make his way for a gain of about 3 yards. And for Kindred right now, you've seen 6 different ball carriers here in the game for the Vikings. In situations like this, whether you're Bill Nelson or Eric Bergad, a chance to get sophomores, maybe if you got some freshmen into the contest as well, get reps at a varsity level. With talking with coaches, I always say, you know, if you can get reps for guys off the bench in any particular sport or off the sidelines here, hopefully they become better practice players, which in turn forces the varsity players to play even better as well. Schliemann, play action to the outside, incomplete at the 23-yard line. That's true. You can get younger guys into a contest, give them some game reps. You're an injury or a illness away from maybe being number 3 on the depth chart to number 2 and then playing, whether it be special teams or having chances to get into the game, as they will come out here with 9 minutes left to play in quarter number 4. 4th down upcoming for the Kindred Vikings. Ball spotted at the Blue Jay 34-yard line. 10 seconds left to play on the play clock here, as Schliemann, we're going to get to that Blue Jay 28 for the first. Play action, Schliemann has some time. Now the pocket breaks down. Rolling near side here for Schliemann at the 40. Fires, throws at the 21. Nice pitch and catch as that one goes to Hess. Graham Hess coming back and helping Schliemann for a gain of 13. First reception of the game here for Graham Hess. Nicely done by Schliemann. He had time. He was looking. Pocket broke down, rolled to the near sideline, and Hess able to help him out coming back towards him. Was able to find the line to gain and some for the first down here for Kindred, as the Vikings are knocking on the red zone here with 8 minutes left to play in quarter number 4. One wide receiver split out either side. The Blue Jays, 5 men at the line, 3 on the down line position. Handoff, Althoff here. Althoff driving his feet to about the 20 for a gain of 1. As for the Kindred Vikings, looking to improve to 50-3 on this since 2021. That's regular season and postseason, with the win here tonight when improved to 50-3 since 2021 with a win. The most losses they've had in a year since 2021 in one season is 1. As the Vikings able to continue to turn and grind this clock a little bit here in the 4th quarter, as the handoff will go up the middle for the Vikings here. That'll be Huseman, the freshman, able to get in and get a couple of yards to about the 17-yard line for a gain of 3. So Huseman able to get his first opportunity to get in the game here from an offensive perspective on the ground. And brings up a 3rd down here for Kindred, as the Vikings will have Eli Mack, the sophomore, out on the boundary. Also with him to the near side will be Graham Hess. So 2 wide receivers. 3rd down and 5 here for Kindred. Schliemann looking down, makes a man catch at the 15 and bulldozing his way to about the 5-yard line. Here for Kindred will be Tanner Mangy. So Tanner able to get that one for a gain of about 11 yards. Brings up a 1st down upcoming. So far we've seen Schliemann with the play action, able to roll left, able to roll right. Vikings using that passing game here on this drive to get the ball down the field, as they will handle it with Huseman line up to the left of Schliemann here. 1st and goal situation at the 6. They will roll the pocket here with Schliemann. He's getting chased. Reverses field here for Schliemann. Has daylight in front of him. Fires, throws into the end zone. Caught, touchdown. Oh, what a play by Schliemann. Nicely done, and coming back for the football here for Kindred, as that looked to be with Fisher Johnson on the play. It was by 6 yards. Oh, Schliemann able to fire one in there. He's got 30 yards and a score. Tell you what is he watching Mahomes on Sunday? Is that one able just to spin, roll near sideline? He had the chance to run or throw. He had room in front of him to run the football, but coming back was Johnson on the play. Fisher able to make the reception, and now the 2-point conversion upcoming here for Kindred. 47-6, 5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. One wide receiver split out either side. Schliemann gonna try to keep it. Opened up a little bit of a lane. Patient run for the 2-point conversion. And we have a new score under 5 minutes to play here in this one. The Kindred Vikings just keep on rolling, up 49-6.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
As Manji will come on for the kick on the way. As the Vikings able to pounce on the football, go about 35 yards to get the touchdown. 3 possessions in the second half. Interception, touchdown, and touchdown here for Kindred. For the Jamestown Blue Jays, Verkey to the 30, to the 35, and taken down at about the 38-yard line. For the Vikings, this is the most points they've scored in a football game this season with wins over Devils Lake, 42-12. One here at Horace, 34-32, and went to Bismarck and defeated St. Mary's 34-7. For the Jamestown Blue Jays and their games so far this year, they defeated Wahpeton in Wapa on opening night, 23-12. Lost to Grand Forks Central, 39-7. Lost to Central Cass last week, 27-18. As you'll see it now here for Maulding. Maulding will hand this one off. Here goes Bennett at the 40. Bennett makes a cut at the 45, and Bennett plows his way for a first down for a gain of 10. Bennett trying to make the most of his opportunities once he gets in the football game here for the Blue Jays. Will Bennett, the senior, 5'8" and 150 pounds, shifty tailback here for Jamestown. 2 wide receivers near side, one to the right-handed side for the Blue Jays. As Maulding in the gun. Handoff. Able to spin, and Bennett using the B button, but spinning right into a linebacker here for Kindred. As the Vikings come in on the play, and that's to Olson. Braden Olson, the junior, makes the tackle after a gain of 3. Second down upcoming here for Jamestown. 1 wide receiver split out either side. Blue Jays looking to get to the Viking 41 for about a first. Bennett on a handoff, going to get tackled. Really nice play coming through here for Kindred. As that one here on the play was by Olsgaard, the freshman, coming in for about a gain of 1, if that, here for Bennett. Third down upcoming here for Jamestown. Their 1 score back in the second quarter after a Fry 2-yard touchdown. That has been the lone score of the night. Maulding going to roll to near side. Look, fires in the flat, incomplete. As this one was off the hands of Kleingen at the 45-yard line. Maulding first pass of the night will be an incompletion, but with the mercy rule, the clock will keep on rolling here with under 3 minutes to play. And this is in the fourth quarter. Again, quarter number 4 here on this one. As the Kindred Vikings I'll see a 4th down upcoming. Defensively, Blue Jays need 7.5, and they will get for a second and incomplete. Coming on a crossing pattern, it looked like it was going to be there as the Vikings make a good stick on the play by Asher Swenson, the sophomore. Able to barrel that one out of the Blue Jays tight end of Van Berkom. That'll be an incompletion, and all that Kindred needs to do is come out and pretty much take the football and take a couple knees. You can run a play or two if you desire. And then this one will be put on ice. The Vikings coming up to 2A and so far doing a nice job against AA competition. Also on our post-game show, we'll take a look at some of the other numbers that have either getting to halftime. Some games have gone final across the state of North Dakota here this evening as well. Just a handful starting at about 6 or 6:30 tonight, so we will get to those final scores, final numbers, and get you ready for what the rest of next week will have in store for high school athletics. 1st down and 10 here for Kindred. The snap, Schliemann just stretching the play to the near side, and Schliemann finally gets tackled to about the 38-yard line. That will be a loss of 10 there for Schliemann. Just a low snap. Schliemann trying to make something out of it. Not the worst play in the world from a Kindred perspective. Yes, you lost 10, but with the clock, Schliemann able to kind of bounce out to the outside a little bit and take a few more seconds off the clock. If the clock was at 2 minutes, you could just take some knees, but with it being at about 2:20 when they started, you have to run a couple plays here for the Vikings. Schliemann hands this one off. There's a couple of yards. And a nice cut back to the 45 to about the 47-yard line there by Huseman for a gain of 9. So Huseman, 2 carries for 12 yards, brings up 3rd down and 11. You can snap it with about a minute left to play here for Kindred. And then you have a play, get about to 55, you reset the play clock. You still have to run a 4th down play for sure, unless you punt the football away. If you're unable to get 11 yards here on this one. So Schliemann hands this one off. Huseth goes up the middle, and Huseth will spin to about the 49 for a gain of 2. As the Vikings will bring up a 4th down upcoming. 13 seconds here between the play clock and the game clock as Huseth will come out back at his own 43-yard line. The Blue Jays will come back and get the return game. Snap is high. Huseth gets this one away. Nicely done after the high snap. That'll bounce at the 19, take a Viking bounce to the 10, and roll to the 8-yard line. So good punt by Huseth of 41 yards to flip the field. And that's where the Blue Jays will start with it with 21 seconds left to play here in the 4th quarter. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for bringing you high school sports throughout the course of the season. Make sure you patronize them and say thank you. Without them, unable to bring you high school football coverage here tonight on yourliveevent.com. I'd like to thank Max Bernier as well for helping us run camera. Brad Ambrosius working with us, getting everything situated. Being second game on Kindred's home away from home this season as a home team, this is their 3rd game at Horace this year. And they will be back in Kindred coming up here in 2 weeks after a road game in Grand Forks next week. Handoff here for the Blue Jays. A scat back play that gets maybe about to the line as that looks to be Miles Curtis. As Curtis able to see this one, and that will do it here in this contest. The Kindred Vikings improved to 4-0 on the season with a 49-6 win over the Jamestown Blue Jays, as Jamestown will drop on the year here to 1-3. We're back with our post-game show after this here in Horace.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
As we get to our post-game show here, brought to you in part by First Class Mortgage, the Kindred Vikings 49, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6, as we take a look at the final numbers here in this one. For Kindred, 327 yards of total offense, 137 on the ground, 190 through the air. They eventually would have 2 turnovers with 4 penalties for 35 yards. For the Jamestown Blue Jays, 240 yards of total offense, 113 on the ground, 127 through the air here for the Blue Jays. They would, in this contest, finish with 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, 3 penalties for 35 yards. Gabe Whipple here in this contest, 160 yards through the air as he goes 7 of 13 here tonight. Through the air, he goes 6 of 13 through the air here this evening with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. Schliemann goes 3 of 4 for 30 yards and a score. Bacco, 2 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Starcevic, 2 catches for 39 yards and a score. Theogis, 2 catches for 16 yards. Mangy with 1 reception for 11. Graham Hess, 1 reception for 13. And Johnson, 1 catch for 9 yards. On the ground, Althoff, 11 carries, 32 yards and a score. You had Sawyer Hess, 7 carries for 60 yards and a score. Huseman with 3 carries for 11 yards here. Whipple with 6 for 34. Just a couple to lead the way for the Vikings. While on the opposite side here for the Jamestown Blue Jays, 22 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown for Fry. Then 7 carries for Bennett for 13 yards. Carson Schmidt in this game would go 13 of 23 for 127 yards and 4 interceptions. Maulding goes 0 for 2 here in this one. Remick, 4 catches for 70 yards. Saylor, 4 catches for 33 to lead the way here for the Jamestown Blue Jays. It's now time to get to our play of the game, and alongside our player of the game, our player of the contest, Brooks Bacco, able to get 2 interceptions here tonight, also with 2 receiving touchdowns here in this one. Brooks Bacco is our Enbridge Energy player of the game. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com for career opportunities. From there, it's now time to get to our Agassi Precision Egg play of the contest, and you get a pick 6 by Tannen Johnson on the play, as Tannen, the 6'1 senior, was able to get a 48-yard pick 6 when Jamestown was down by 1 score. They made a stop. They had the ball at their own 45-yard line on the ensuing play, able to get a 48-yard pick 6 by Tannen Johnson. And then it was all a huge play avalanche down the field for the Kindred Vikings. Going from there, play of the game brought to you in part by Tannen Johnson with Agassi Precision Egg, your local precision planting dealer. Agassi Precision Egg in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com here in this one. The Kindred Vikings improved to now 4-0 on the season, while the Jamestown Blue Jays, they drop to 1-3 on the year. Again, that play of the game brought to you in part by Agassi Precision Ag. This is our First Class Mortgage postgame show. First Class Mortgage, locally owned and operated. First Class Mortgage, more than their company name, it's the way they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. First Class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That again is firstclasscorp.com. We'll take a break, and we come back. We'll hear from the head coach. That is Eric Bergad here from the Kindred Vikings. We'll hear from Mr. Johnson on that pick six. That and more still to come here in this one, and then we'll take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. That's tonight. The Vikings can improve to 4-0 on the season. Blue Jays drop to 1-3. We'll continue with more after this here on your LiveVent.com.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
Buying and selling heavy equipment at purplewave.com saves time and money. We handle all of the details, including pictures, videos, marketing, titles, and payments.
It was almost immediately over the top with the customer service. I've just never ever experienced that before with any other auction service. They're constantly working for me as the seller, and I really like that.
Purple Wave Auction is straight, simple, sold.
The Ringneck is the perfect stop for lunch or dinner in Leonard, North Dakota. They have a wide variety menu from burgers, wraps, steak, chicken, and seafood. For that small-town family-owned dining experience, check out the Ringneck today. To place an order ahead of time for takeout, call 701-645-2461. That's 701-645-2461. For more information and daily food specials, search the Ringneck on Facebook. That's the Ringneck in Leonard.
As we come back here on our postgame show, join us, the head coach for the Kindred Vikings. There is Eric Bergad again as they improve to 4-0 on the season. Eric, let's just talk about a really good start for your club, able to get up 13-0 in this game. Jamestown comes back, gets 13-6, but your team's resiliency forces some turnovers, able to get a couple of big-time plays by some defensive linemen as well in that second quarter. Just what did you see from your team for 4 quarters of football here tonight at Horace?
One, starting fast like that is really important. You don't feel the pressure when you're playing with a lead. So those first 2 touchdowns, even though they did battle back a little bit, it's nice to be up a score. And you put yourself in that situation. You want to start fast and be sharp early. And then, when they did start storming back, felt like we were in bad spots defensively a lot of the night, just inside our own stuff. And felt like they were knocking on the door. But a lot of guys answered the bell, big plays and timely situations, and capitalized on a few of them. When we were getting turnovers, our offense was capitalizing. Tannen took his all the way back to the house. So big time plays. Proud of how they played it.
Let's talk about Tannen, right? Because 13-7, about 6:30 left to go. Jamestown's got the ball at their own 45-yard line. Just take us through when you saw Tannen get that ball. What's kind of going through your mind when he's running up that far sideline?
My first thought is, okay, he's going to get tackled immediately, and let's get out on offense. And then he broke a tackle, and then high step in, knees looked good. Looked a little tired toward the end. We got to keep conditioning, but fantastic play. Everybody was so juiced up. Just a really big emotional play. Kind of gave us the spark we needed.
And how about Lincoln kind of reading the screenplay, going with the tailback, and he nearly got a pick six as well. What's it like to see another defensive lineman and a linebacker, those guys up front, making plays like that?
Oh, it's fun when, you got a plan as a defensive unit, and we knew they were a really good screen team, so screen drill was in full effect for us all week, and always harping on the front three that, okay, you got to stick your foot, come back to the line of scrimmage, find the football, and Lincoln did it perfectly, just like he did in practice all week, and it was an awesome play. Happy for him.
I'd be remiss to not ask you about the Baco play that goes 90 yards, 30 yards through the air by Whipple. Brooks comes with another one. I don't know what you want to call it. You got Baco maybe a little bit with how he's able to make some plays. Those squat racks obviously coming in nice for him, but what did you see just from the play by Whipple, the catch by Brooks to kind of get the offense, clicking there early in the game?
Yeah, it's just like to have that weapon, you always feel like you got that threat. And, Star and I are talking a lot on the headset, and it's like, okay, it's going to be there when you want it. And it's just kind of a timing thing. Do you hit it at the right time? So, Brooks did what Brooks does, and Gabe does what Gabe does. So they're playmakers.
Eric, congratulations on the win. We'll hand the headset off to some of the players. Best of luck next week against Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
And again, Eric Burghead. We'll hear from the Kindred players when we return.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
As we come back here on our post-game show, join us, the man with the 48-yard pick six here in Tannen Johnson, able to have it for the senior, and at that point, make it a 20-6 ball game midway through the second quarter. Tannen, let's just kind of go through that particular sequence of events. Offense unable to put the ball in. All of a sudden, here comes Jamestown after a punt, and they got the ball at midfield, a chance to try to make it a tie ball game or possibly take the lead for two. Just take us through the play. What were you kind of reading from the Jamestown quarterback? Then take us through the run once he got in for the end zone.
Well, I just dropped down into my zone and just kind of stood there, and luckily he threw it right to me. Now, my dad's been talking to me about getting a pick for about 3 years now. He said if you don't get a pick by senior year, be very disappointed to you. So when I got that pick and made it a touchdown, started pointing up into the stands at him to know that I got it.
Able to get the pick six, and just what does it mean from a defense to force 5 turnovers tonight, 4 interceptions? What were you able to do defensively to turn the Blue Jays over?
It helps a lot. It helps the offense tremendously. You need to get turnovers, especially when they're kind of coming back, and turnovers really help. So, yeah.
Able to see Lincoln, what was going to go in through your mind when he had a chance at his own pick trying to go down the far side?
Yeah, that was awesome. I was trying to get in front of him and block, but he was a little too quick for me, so I couldn't quite get to him. But yeah, he ran fast, ran hard. I thought he was going to get it in. That would have been awesome if 2 pick six occurred.
Tannen, for this team to go to 4-0 in a new division, obviously you got the games that really matter coming up next week at Red River and so forth with region games. But what do you like most about this team 4 games in so far here, Tannen?
We all work as a team great. Everyone on all the stars are best friends with each other, even the second string guys. We're all good friends. And having that camaraderie really helps push the team forward and make us win some games.
As you get ready, what's the message for this club as you get ready for conference play when you go up to Grand Forks next week?
Try hard, practice hard, get the win.
Able to try hard and practice hard with a 48-yard pick six again is Tannen Johnson, the senior at 6'1", 210 pounds. Tannen, congratulations on the win. Well, best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break and hear from Mr. again Lincoln Swenson. That is next.
Fall is here, and that means harvest will ramp up quickly. How did your planter do this spring? Did you have the correct down pressure? Was your singulation spot on? Did you need row cleaners or a better closing system? This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer, and we are here to help. Discounts, 0% financing, and $50 per row rebates on most all systems will give you the tools to improve your planter pass. Give us a call at 701-636-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. Have a safe and profitable harvest.
Well, another man who earned an interception here tonight is Lincoln Swenson for the Kindred Vikings, as the Vikings able to force, again, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, 5 turnovers in their win here over the Jamestown Blue Jays. Lincoln, just what was it like just seeing your teammates and yourself just cause some havoc here defensively tonight here at Horace?
It was awesome. We had a great week of practice, and, yeah, that really helped us a lot. Some setbacks throughout the game, but we always fought back.
Take us through. Eric Burghead said you saw Jamestown run screen, so you were practicing that a little bit, communicating it a little bit throughout the week. When you see the screen play going, what's kind of going through your mind as you're going with the running back, so to speak, in the flat?
Yeah, a lot of good screen drill practice throughout the week. We knew they were good at that, so a lot of practice with that throughout the week. And they got me on one, but our coach said never lose 2 in a row, so I came back on the next time it happened, just stuck my feet, stay on the line, and yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Did you think you were going to get a house call like Tannen after you had some open grass in front of you?
I couldn't tell. It was pretty close. I could hear him screaming, "I'm behind you," but I didn't know if there was more people, so I kind of just try to keep running.
When you're able to see a teammate get a pick six, particularly Tannen's, when it just changes the momentum of the game, just what does that do for the sidelines and just the guys out on the field?
Yeah, especially if we were down, or it just really helps keep everybody going, keep the momentum up, and yeah, it just keeps us going throughout the game, and yeah.
Take us through some of the weapons here tonight. Obviously, Luke with a receiving touchdown. Brooks does what Brooks does, over 100 yards on 2 catches, 2 scores, and able to see really a good running back by committee here this evening as well. What did you see from the offense that was able to run the ball consistently and allow Gabe to have some time to throw and put the ball in the end zone a couple times?
Yeah, it was good. I think we did pretty well overall offensively. Obviously some setbacks, but yeah, Clayton Althoff's been doing a great job at running back. I know he's a little new and younger to the team, but he's been doing great, and same with Luke's, Brooks, all our wide receivers. Yeah, they've been doing really great.
Final thing for me, Lincoln, as you get ready now for conference play moving forward, what's one thing that you want to carry from the first 4 games into the Red Rivers, the Wahpetons, so to speak, that you have coming up on your schedule?
I think just our aggressiveness and get off the ball is really going to help a lot, and staying mentally locked in throughout the week, having a great week of practice is really going to help us.
Hey, Lincoln, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
Lincoln Swenson again joined us here, had another pick for the Kindred Vikings, 1 of 4 here in the contest. We'll put a bow on this one next as Kindred improves to 4-0 on the season.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
As we put a bow on this one, the Kindred Vikings improved to 49 with the win, 49-6 here over the Jamestown Blue Jays. 13 points in the first quarter, 21 in the second, 7 in the third, and 8 in quarter number 4 for Jamestown. Scoreless in quarters 1, 3, and 4. They put 6 up on the board in the second. The Jamestown Blue Jays now will have a game at Devil's Lake coming up here next week, while on the opposite side for the Kindred Vikings, they will travel to Grand Forks Red River next week as well. So again, the Kindred Vikings pick up the win here tonight at West Fargo Horace in a nice kind of 1-2 combination, especially if we can get defensive linemen and linebackers making some plays in the game as well. Quickly, 11 AA scoreboard. Some games that are going on. Dickinson up by 14 to start the second half against Central Cass. Grand Forks Central up by 21 over Watford City to begin the second half. Bismarck St. Mary's leads Wahpeton by 20 in the third. Devils Lake all over Fargo South 29-7 to begin the second half. Red River steamrolls Williston 49-12 final, and Minot North leads at the half over Fargo North 21-7. On behalf of Max Bernier, thanks as well to AD Brad Ambrosius. Thanks you to tuning in to our coverage here tonight. The Kindred Vikings now 4-0 on the season as the Blue Jays drop to 1-3, but now playoffs will be starting to get determined with regional games moving on here for the next 5 weeks in 2A football. I'm Chase Miller repeating tonight's final here from Horace. The Kindred Vikings 49, the Jamestown Blue Jays 6. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for tuning in to high school football here on your LiveEvent.com.